All right, it is 10:45 here in Seoul, and this is one of those episodes where they do the credits at the end, or the opening titles at the end. So here we go.
Woo!
So when we last left our heroes, they were on a mission to resupply and support the first mission to go down to the planet Earth. When they arrived after their ship kind of crashed, crashed-ish.
Crashed-ish.
Yeah, crashed-ish.
Ish crashed.
Crashed.
Yeah.
There was a non-happening
Crashed
thing that
sounds
did
like
not
an
happen.
Yeah.
That's true. Shit.
They
Nothing.
got to the Ranger 1 campsite to find it abandoned. They poked around for a bit, got poked at a bit by some insects, then started heading south, following a trail that only Saga, the Wayfarer, could see.
And sniff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of glad.
And they were then attacked by a strange, largely invisible creature.
That only me.
That was great.
Only me he could see. They were sort of rescued by Solomon Blitzer, the senior wayfarer for the mission to recolonize Earth. He took them to his camp, which he had made outside of some kind of zone of effect that he himself did not entirely understand, but he knew roughly where the boundaries were.
Which is
Taking drugs, no big deal.
Yeah.
When someone says
Anya,
that,
the
it's
drug
never a big
addict.
deal.
They sort of regrouped at Solomon's camp. Took his rover to get the satellite relay from the Ranger 2 ship and bring it back to Solomon's camp. Meanwhile, Mihi got it on with Ranger 1's engineer.
Yes, you did.
But he got a very low dex
shit.
shit.
He
He got a very low dex roll.
He
Yeah.
not very low, just on the disappointing side. Not bad, just
But
disappointing.
He was happy with her, but she wasn't happy.
It was the first time. Come
Yeah.
on, the first time is never actually good.
Oh, what
You know
does that
that.
imply?
I would actually let you know that it's not. It could be. What?
All right.
I'm just saying it can be good.
Right?
Anyway.
I agree with that statement.
I'm not sure that's Saga or Enrica talking.
Well, she's red, so I think it's Enrica talking.
All right, so they got to Ranger 2, got the satellite relay, and nothing else happened.
Yep.
And nothing.
Nothing else. But she
Nothing
just...
else.
So
happened
when they returned to Solomon's campsite, they were attacked by these grasshopper-like creatures that
Yes.
sprayed sand
Yeah.
and then turned back into sand when you destroyed them.
Wasn't there something with acid? Okay, that's
No,
my bad.
acid was the lizards whose tail you said
Yeah.
you stood on.
Yes.
And while we're on that, I know I was kind of an asshole last time about that. I know I was being kind of a dick just throwing that at you guys.
It's okay.
I know.
What?
I was just upset because Anya or Ariane was
Yeah.
playing the Harry Potter game at the table.
When
Acid-
everybody was
acid
at the
lizard.
bathroom? Yeah, that was unjustified.
April was at the bathroom, and
Yeah.
so but anyway,
We can't play without a player.
I mean I know. Unless we can play without a player if I ask you guys to leave.
Especially, like, I mean, everyone... The thing is more like everyone's on their phone all the time, and I take it once, and then you do that. That's why I thought it was unfair.
And it was. I was being unfair. I was being an asshole. I admit that.
Acid lizard.
But yeah, there was an
Acid
acid
lizards.
lizard as you guys left Solomon's camp.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you left Solomon's camp,
Okay,
and you made your way back on foot back through the tall grass to the mountains, where you started following tracks that you believe belonged to Dr. Sharp, who was the head biologist for Ranger 1. And following those tracks through the woods, you experienced a number of
Fucked up things.
hallucinatory effects.
That was pretty crazy, and that waterfall was loud.
Yes, it was.
It gave me a headache.
Yeah.
You still have it?
It gave
Little bit.
What's her name a headache? I forgot my own character's name. She said Bob.
This table.
Meanwhile, the theme of today is exploding things and things falling down, so we're a little worried.
Yeah. There have been some
Yeah.
ill omens
Yeah.
before we started filming.
My
So
smoothie exploded.
so now
That is bears.
you have reached
Also, yeah.
more or
Jim still has
less the end of the trail because there are now these 3 pixies
a headache. Oh dear.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right.
hovering in front of you.
There was a pixie.
And they have huge
Oh my gosh.
teeth. Wait, I need a note card.
Yeah, very sharp.
I need a note card.
Me too.
Oh, I was like, why are you giving me a chicken?
Oh, it's so cute.
Wait. These are
I have
all.
no idea where this bag came from.
I brought cookies sometimes.
These all have
and I put
one
them
money
in there.
written on them.
You,
Congratulations.
only on one side.
Congratulations, you got one money.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Were you not here when we did that?
No.
Oh, okay. So yes, these 3 blue glowing pixies floating in front of you,
Okay.
and everybody needs to roll initiative.
I knew it. I was
No, no,
joking.
no.
You're like
Animal
next turn. I was
handling.
like, everybody roll initiative, but it was right. It was.
Can't I
true.
just do like animal handling? Hi guys.
They're not
They're
animals.
not animals.
Fudge
too many names.
sickle. I got a
Ooh,
1.
Oh no! Well,
Why is
Natural
initiative?
one.
it was nice knowing you.
Yeah.
It was nice meeting you.
No, but it's
Oh,
initiative.
no, we're not.
Yeah,
This
she's
is-
just checking.
Yeah.
Dang.
No one is donating to
No,
LA 360 or whatever it's called.
What?
3, 2, 6, 7.
326 LA. That's right.
What's
326 LA.
It's a
German no.
charity- it's a
All right.
charity,
So what did you get?
German no.
thing, but
A
every
German
time
no? Okay, what did-
they get-
Jakir, what's your initiative?
11.
11. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Just before Anya.
My initiative is my age, 17. I'm doing the office.
I sort of like saw the image getting closer.
I'm doing the office there.
Yes, that's true. Perfect, Jim.
Or Parks and Rec. Oh, Leslie.
Or unless you're April, then she always looks like this.
No. I'm definitely Leslie. I'm pretty sure.
There's no questioning
Singing
that.
you my Merry Christmas song.
All right.
Alright guys, jingle
So-
age. I love Parks and Rec.
Okay.
Oh gosh, I'm so scared.
I was finishing up my notes for today's encounter last night.
Oh, great.
They're on my iPad. It's current the text document is currently at the top. Watch.
What?
And now it's at the bottom.
What?
Yeah. All right. So the 3 pixies, more or less at the same time, come flying towards you.
Of course they do.
The first one comes floats right in front of Saga. The world spins for a moment, and when you get your bearings back, you're on Kali. It's 2 years before the Odyssey. You're supposed to be shadowing your mother Mercedes on a mission to find a crop of Yovander, a purple flowering plant that is, thus far, the only known source of a chemical that's effective in treating Whaler's syndrome. Your mother calls it a babysitting mission as you try to keep a team of botanists safe in this untamed wilderness.
And dip your hair into Mountain Dew.
All right.
I am taking notes very fast because I don't remember these.
The botanists are looking for the largest field of the plant they can find, so they can drop a mobile lab there and begin harvesting and hopefully synthesizing the extract. You've heard how hard synthesis has been. The few successful batches have been flukes, certainly not reliable enough to stem the tide of whalers. The many missions, marked by red zones on a big map, have seemingly picked the planet all but clean of the Yovander. It is the morning of your 4th day. So far, the team has only found a handful of sprigs of Yovander, which they've picked up immediately. Your mother sends you to scout the eastern ridge before the team moves out for the day.
And then there's a Korean agency.
Hold on. I have to do this for a minute. I'll reopen it.
Can hear people speaking.
That's the botanist.
The botanists are Korean.
They're Korean.
They're Ajashi.
Since we start, what?
But what botanists, they take care of plants. Botanists.
Plants.
They're-
botanist. Okay, got it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's the same in Italian or very similar.
Botanica, something like that.
Botanist.
No,
Or
I-
botanistic.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm French.
I'm good at the speak Italian anymore.
Botanici, got it.
Ah, there we go.
There she goes. Ah, she's back.
Botanici. And what was the
All right.
thing you eat with wine?
So yes, so far the team has only found a handful of sprigs of Yovander, which they've picked up immediately. Your mother sends you to scout the eastern ridge before the team moves out for the day. You know this is the least promising direction. She wants you to learn what least promising looks like.
Thank you, mother.
The landscape is dominated by rolling ridges, cut by seasonal rains. As you come to the top of the third ridge, you note your first signs of animal life, a few sets of tracks. Continuing on, you find more and more tracks, piles of scat in the small valleys between ridges. Then, cresting the sixth ridge, you're now a good 10 kilometers from the camp. You see a wide, vibrant field of Yovander. You've never seen so much of it in the wild. A family of deer-like animals approaches the field from the opposite ridge. 2 adults and a fawn. The mother leads the fawn as the father studies you. Remembering your training, you stand tall and still. Crouching looks like a predator's move to them. The mother nibbles at the seed-laden flowers and the fawn copies her. When the fawn starts to eat the stalk, the mother nudges it and guides it to another flower. They both eat a second flower. The fawn moves to a third, but the mother stops it. She pushes the fawn back from the flowers as the father leans in and eats 2 himself. Then they move along the edge of the field, the fawn looking hungrily at the flowers as they go. At the southern end of the field, they stop. The father lifts his tail and deposits a pile of scat. He turns and nudges the fawn over next to it. They wait for the fawn to defecate, then the mother takes her turn.
Normal Wednesday.
They're deer.
Yeah, that's what I said. Normal Wednesday.
This ritual completed, they climb back up the ridge and disappear below it. You stand alone above the expanse of purple. What did you do? Next.
She pooped.
Well, I feel like I went back to camp and told everyone that I found it. But they know what to find. And waiting for my words of praise from everybody.
Okay.
Also ask my mother if she knew that there was gonna be something there.
She tells you that there's always the possibility there's something there.
So even if it's not.
So yes, the botanists called down their mobile lab. It's dropped from an orbiting ship and landed at one end of the field. Within a few weeks, the entire field was harvested and gone.
Oh.
Yep.
In
I'm
time,
sad.
Sorry, David.
synthesis of the plant failed. The plant is now listed as extinct.
Wait.
And another plant was found that was effective in treating the disease on another planet, and it was much easier to synthesize.
Alright.
When you come back to Earth, the pixie is glowing red in front of you.
Sorry.
Whoa. And I am going to die.
Did this
Oh.
already
She
happen?
like showed her
Yeah.
the memory on purpose.
Okay,
Oh
cool.
wow.
Yeah, no, that's yeah.
Well, fairies are good about going back in time
that's a
and
real
stuff.
memory you have.
Sorry.
Okay.
That's why you're so pretentious. I can't make mistakes because
All right.
Wow, that's a really
Actually-
good question.
not every mission is supposed to
I'm
be.
glad you said that because the next one is flying down to you.
What did she say?
I said, ooh, that's interesting.
And he's like,
So
"Well,
yeah, the
that
next
was
pixie
So
flies
you're
in
getting
front of
yours
Jakir,
last.
glowing blue in front of her.
You had one. It's in order.
Everything goes dark.
Oh, there's only 3.
Does Do we see like Saga having a reaction, or is it she's just kind of like frozen or
I
whatever?
guess it was
It
half a
just lasts for
second.
1 second,
Yeah,
It was like a
yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
Continue.
it wasn't like she was having non-flashbacks.
Okay, like so it was just kind of like a pause. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, you're probably looking at the pixie flying up in front
Oh,
of you.
I absolutely was.
Yeah,
I'm
you were not
staring
looking
right
at it.
it.
Yeah, you're probably not
I'm
paying
like,
attention.
Yeah.
All right, everything goes dark. A light switches on above you, and you are seated at a small table surrounded on 3 sides by the cheap fabric-bound walls you remember from your student days. In front of you is a metal box, just small enough to fit in your palm. This was the final exam in 7th form. Yeah, you're back in school taking an exam.
Oh, terrible. I hate those dreams.
You remember the class. Lateral thinking with Professor Redtail. The whole course had been on approaching a problem as if it were a different problem to find innovative solutions. The box in front of you is carved with various geometrical lines, none of which quite add up to a proper shape. In a few places you can see small holes, and there are 6 raised keyholes in the center of each side of the box. You've seen this kind of puzzle. There are keys hidden within the box, and you have to twist and turn the various mobile sides to eject them. Once all 6 locks are open, there is a bauble of some kind in the center that you can bring to the proctor. The first 3 come easily. You arrange the various portions of shapes into impressions of characters from the old Demarian writing system, reformed into something almost unrecognizable to the original due to its unnecessary complexity. Your preparatory school required it because they wanted you to read foundational scientific texts in their original languages. The keys are mostly constructed of 2 pieces secreted inside the smaller boxes that can slide along the puzzle. They are linked magnetically. When the holes where they hid were aligned, they joined and popped out. 4 and 5 were much more difficult, and you lost a lot of time. Plus, one of the smaller boxes is coming loose from the puzzle, so it keeps catching. You're worried you might break it. Then again, if you did break it, you might be able to get the gem from inside, then snap it back into place. You've been through every conceivable combination of boxes in the puzzle, and still no idea what opens the 6th lock. How did you solve it?
I know what April would do. She'd just break the damn thing. But what would you care to? Let's see. She started over from the beginning, and then even though it took a lot more time, she figured it out. And she was in last place as far as like how much time it took, but no one else but her ended up figuring out the puzzle. Everyone else that took the test just broke it and got the gem out that way. Yes. That
Okay.
happened.
In figuring it out, you realize that the piece was supposed to be loose. Snapping it firmly into place opened the 6th lock. Okay.
She didn't break it though.
Hmm.
Not really good.
Good for her.
Good for
You
her.
have to snap it
She
in.
here's a better person than me.
Oh,
I would have gotten frustrated and broken it.
For me, opposite, because I just made a flower extend.
She's actually still shocked from it. She's not talking. She's like,
I mean, you just did what you thought.
Botanists,
what
they're
you-
dumb. Why did they like try all the flowers without like keeping some of them?
So did
Dumb.
she
I feel like
pass
you
the
missed
class? I
the
assume she
main
did.
point of.
Yeah, you passed the class. I mean, you
Oh,
have
yeah,
your
the
degree
degrees.
now, so
Okay,
obviously
okay.
you had to
I
have
was a little
passed.
sweaty, like trying to like, oh my gosh, did she fail the exam? Did she pass? Okay, woo, okay. Awesome, okay.
All right. So when you come back to Earth, the pixie in front of you turns yellow.
Oh, okay.
All right.
she's gonna get less trouble.
Let's see
It's
here.
an Asian pixie. I'm sorry. I'm taking it back.
Yes. So while all this is happening, Eleti,
The one turns red before without the memory because of that racist comment.
you see a figure start walking out of the forest towards you. You can't quite make out any details of the figure, but you can see somebody walking towards you. and then a bright white haze wraps itself around you,
Hmm.
then disappears, and you are 10 years old.
I'm
You're
always 10 years old, to be honest, but yeah.
You're sitting in your family's living room, curled up on your stomach in one of the fur-lined stools. A school book is in front of you, and you return to your sums. Behind you, and to your left, you hear the scrape of the cat door opening, and the soft padfalls of your cat, whose name is...
It's a long name.
His name
How many
M's? That's with 12 M's. And an H. And a silent H.
No, it's just because I want to have some kind of idea that would kind of work with the idea that this
Just-
friend's here is
yeah.
paprika.
I think that's nice.
There would be paprika.
Name your
Paprika
cat
too?
cilantro.
There we go. Cilantro.
That's it.
Cilantro is her cat's name.
My
Cilantro.
worst enemy.
She hates.
I'm not a big fan of cilantro.
Bunnies probably love cilantro, so it's great.
Those J likes it for you.
Behind you and to your left, you hear the scrape of the cat door opening, and the soft padfalls of your cat, Cilantro. She was a souvenir from your family's trip to Beacon 2 years ago.
Aw, cilantro.
Cilantro, capital of Apana. Sorry. Go on.
That's exactly.
Initially, you were gutted when you found out she had to be spayed and wouldn't have kittens. However, you had already learned about invasive species, and your father explained how dangerous it would be to introduce a possibly breeding animal to your homeworld of Apatia. You looked around the shop and saw they had many, many cats. Just one that couldn't breed wouldn't be so bad. And your Aunt Lulana couldn't have children either, and she was always happy. She was your favorite relative. That endeared you to the idea, and you brought Cilantro back home with you. You turn and watch Cilantro trot into the living room. There is something in her mouth. She sits in front of you on the floor and raises her head to show you the Omono bird she has caught. You have always understood that cats were carnivores, but had likewise hoped Cilantro would be happy with the food you gave her.
Cilantro. Sorry.
Does she mean she always eats paprika?
Anyway.
This is the reason I got paprika after.
Then the bird flaps, its purple, gold, and red feathers beating against the cat's mouth. A small, distressed song comes from its short beak. Cilantro lays the bird on the floor, then looks back up at you, perhaps seeking approval, you're not sure. The bird tries to get up, to escape, but Cilantro just bats it back down to the ground. For a moment, you're frozen. You are being faced with a part of nature you have only read about. What did you do?
First, I cried, I think. I cried.
Poor little birdie.
I think what happened is I went to my dad with both in my hands and was like, I don't think Cilantro wants to live here. I think we need to bring it back there. And that's how I ended up like feeling so sorry for that bird that I got paprika.
And you
And
took...
we actually went on a, well, so my dad went on somebody else went on a trip to Beacon and brought the cat back to the city,
Okay. Planet.
the planet Sari. So
Poor
Yeah,
cilantro.
and I was like,
She's
no.
lonely now.
no,
Okay.
she might be super happy with cool friends over there.
What if she misses you?
Curry and salt.
That's gonna be the name of my next animals. Those are gonna be my next animals. Curry and salt.
Her dad's like, why do we let her name?
Shut up, Rosemary! Oh my.
And there's
And now Mihi,
and there's little Pepper.
and Mihi, it's time.
Uh-oh.
It's time.
Because
I guess.
the seasoning. It's your turn. It's time. The seasoning time. I got you.
I didn't expect such a terrible pun from you.
Wait, what?
That's why he made the goofy face.
Yeah.
Time.
Oh,
T-H-Y-M-E.
time.
Okay.
As if
T-H-Y-M-E.
this explains
Yeah.
it.
Time.
Time, guys. Come on, time.
I got it. I got
Time
it.
seasoning. Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, time, seasoning.
Got
No,
it.
okay, no, that works too. No,
That
that
works
makes
too.
sense. I'm
Got
with you on
it.
that one. All right. So
thought
the
she
third
had the-
pixie
yeah.
flies down in front of you.
She knew another secret.
Wait, what color does the pixie turn after?
Oh, she
not-
didn't get a
not
pixie.
She didn't get a pixie.
I
She
did
saw
not-
saw a
saw a
figure walking
figure.
towards her.
And then she was
I
wrapped
didn't
in
get a
white.
pixie.
Oh.
I only have
White
one.
light.
I thought the pixie made the figure come out. I got you. Okay.
It's Luke Skywalker.
I'm with you now.
We're getting
Yeah, no, the
initiated
figure.
into the Jedi.
Got you. Okay, got you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so the third pixie flies down in front of you, Mihi.
Mhm.
Everything goes foggy.
That's your every day.
Normal.
When it lifts, you're in a laboratory.
Oh.
This was your first field job 6 years ago. Assisting noted immunologist Dr. Yuichi Kato study a strange fever that had wiped out a burgeoning colony. Alarms are blaring and you hear someone yell, "We've lost containment!"
Oops.
One of the researchers stumbles halfway into the main part of the lab before being caught between the sliding doors of the quarantine chamber. There are confused shouts of what to do.
Sorry. She's the speaker.
Dr. Kato.
Kato.
Yeah. Dr. Kato is shaking. You remember that the alarms made her panic more than an emergency did. She's trying to open a refrigerator unit with immunization guns inside. Most, you know, are empty. You've only synthesized 3 samples of the latest prototype vaccine. One of them is in the first quarantine room. You turn back to the trapped researcher. His skin is beginning to glow, a key symptom of the fever,
Oh my gosh.
though it is presenting much, much faster than usual. The shouting continues as the half-dozen other researchers argue in lieu of acting. Then the trapped researcher screams. There is steam rising from his body, and you can see his skin dehydrating around his bones. Then belts black smoke from his mouth. The cloud envelops the heads of 2 others. Screams rise above the shouts as the desiccated corpse of the first researcher collapses,
Why does she
lifeless.
always guess really creepy
No wonder you were
things?
freaked out by that thing that turns something into the.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably.
that's why, because of this terrible memory.
The first researcher collapsed, lifeless, but still held in place by the doors. Someone shouts, "The vaccine!"
I like this story.
She's answered with, "We don't know if it even works!" Dr. Kato pulls one of the immunization guns from the refrigerator and, shaking on her aging legs, tries to get to one of the researchers whose skin has begun to glow. But the elderly doctor falls, injection gun sliding under a cart. The 2 infected researchers both begin spewing black smoke into the air. The virus has mutated. It's working faster than ever before. Another researcher, her skin beginning to glow, is stumbling towards the remaining injection gun, which sits in the refrigerator immediately to your right. 10 feet to your left is the second quarantine chamber, and right above you is the purge button for chamber 1. If you push it, it will torch everything in chamber 1, and thanks to the researcher's body in the doorway, everything in the main room as well. You might have enough time to press it and run for chamber 2. How did you survive?
Oh shit.
Damn. Wow.
Why does she always have this
I thought I was gonna have a nice memory with my family.
You have many. That's before that. And is there like your mom in there?
No.
Can you hear
Who's
that?
Did you-
Dr. Kato?
Exactly like this.
Did you say how many researchers were in the main?
It's you, Dr. Kato, and 6 others.
6 others. 3
Yeah.
of which are already dead.
Yeah.
Dying.
I mean,
2
there's me spewing black smoke. I think. And Dr. Kato is just on the floor?
Yeah. And there are infected people between you and her.
Great. I think Mihi doesn't have a lot of think she has a lot of self-preservation instinct because she's a runt. I think she would press the purge button and go into
Okay.
chamber 2.
Okay. You reach up above you, hit the purge button as your feet are starting to move you towards the second quarantine chamber. You manage to get inside, and the doors close just as the chemical fire is enveloping the main chamber of the research room.
I would have.
You were found 6 hours later by a rescue team that was alerted by the initial alarm. And when you come back to Earth, the pixie in front of you has turned red.
Oh.
Would it have worked if I had said like if she had like used the vaccine that they're not sure that works and try to get the doctor and left and purge, or there would have been no time?
There was infected people in between.
Yeah, but
so
if
I
you put the
didn't
vaccine
see-
on yourself,
I perfectly saw what she should have done, but I didn't see what I could have done.
Same thing here.
yeah.
Really?
I try not to
Interesting. That's
think
really interesting.
about
You
what
saw-
might
Yeah, well,
have
yeah,
been.
that's-
You saw like her thing. She's
I was
like,
too
"Oh."
invested in it, but I honestly do think that Mihi was like,
yeah, maybe.
like she's a runt and she's used to like having to fight for her.
Especially
Also,
with the way you were
Sophie,
brought
like,
up,
we
it's
fail-
different too.
Fail in this means character development. Because we learn from our mistakes.
But that's yeah.
Now I'm ready to die because mistakes.
I'm mad now.
It's kind of cool because it feels like to each people it was actually hard for them to see it, and others was easy to see that. That I liked it. Somehow it was like a perfect match with what's
I'm
hard
mad
to
'cause I can't
decide.
figure this out.
Hit me.
As
with your fist.
Letty, as you
I don't know what's red, or maybe I'm just becoming red myself.
as you come back to Earth, the figure approaching you becomes clear.
What is it?
It's Dr. Sharp.
Hey, you. Wow! It's Dr. Sharp!
But
You think
I think.
Because.
because she doesn't look like the one I know.
she looks much younger.
Oh no.
Ooh, that's
Oh
cool.
wow.
Did the pixie do something to her?
Botox. She can't get beauty.
Botox. Pixie Botox.
Well, it was apparently like a full body Botox, because yeah.
Damn.
Well, she's completely naked.
Oh,
but she hangs out naked. That's normal, right? She always does that. Does she not always do that?
No, she's
No,
not
she's-
the survivalist.
Oh,
she's
this
the
is
Yeah,
the
she's not-
survivalist
yeah,
that
no,
gets
yeah.
naked.
No, and it's the
She's
the
just a doctor.
naturists who are the naked
Oh,
ones.
right.
she's a doctor.
Yeah. Yeah. She's the elderly biologist.
So she,
Well, she was
Okay,
elderly.
where
Now she
is
looks a
Damn.
good. She looks, late 20s, early 30s.
Wow.
Where is she in
Like, really
like if
young.
I think us
Wasn't she, like,
pixies?
80?
Where is
yeah,
Dr.
she's a
Sharp?
very old.
So-
elderly doctor, like
So okay, so
70s.
like you guys are here. The pixies are like right in front of you, and Dr. Sharp is moving this way.
Cool.
But how do we recognize her
Where-
if she looks so much younger? How do we know it's Dr. Sharp?
Listen, a lady
I
recognizes
know.
her
Oh, okay.
because she spent a lot of time with her.
And
So
I
she-
like
even
her.
though she looks younger, she recognizes her?
I mean,
she's like, yeah,
facial
she's like,
features are.
Okay.
yeah. Although I mean, you are a giant rabbit, so maybe all humans look alike to you, but
Maybe.
you're pretty sure that's Dr. Sharp. Like, you think that's Dr. Sharp.
I'm still looking at the
Okay, so
pixie.
now what happens? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
It's like,
Mihi is just crying,
Yeah.
sobbing.
Jakir puts her tail up on Mihi's shoulder.
I'm,
She still doesn't really like Mihi that much, but feels really bad for her. So she's just kind of like,
I'm also crying, but my reasons are not as intense as yours.
Yeah.
my
She's
kitty.
She's crying
she
over
kind
a
of gives her
cat.
shoulder a little squeeze with her.
My kitty killed the
I'm
man.
angry.
I like to touch your
But that's okay.
tail with my ear.
I'm angry.
It's like a fail.
Bonding.
So that's how we're standing. My tail is on Mihi's shoulder and her ear is on my tail.
Okay.
She's crying. So I'm kind of like,
Touch.
I'm like, yeah, I'm
Touch.
like, I don't want to get closer to her, but I also want her to feel better. So that's what we're doing.
Okay.
So I'm like,
Bonding. Appendage bonding. Oh god. Wow.
with the naked
We're gonna
teacher.
get content. We're gonna get content thing on
Okay.
YouTube. All right.
Anyway.
All right. So,
Minutes.
Dr. Sharp holds out her hand, and Saga and Mihi need to make Constitution saving throws.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's attacking us. She's not the
It
one
might
saving
not
us.
actually be Dr.
Uh,
Sharp, or it is, and
Constitution
something has
saving-
happened.
Roll a
to her.
d20
Something has happened to her.
and add your Constitution.
She was testing us.
Alright, Meldas, don't fuck me up.
Just
Big one, big one! 13.
She was testing the purity of our soul.
6.
Total?
You need
Total.
You need
Wow.
You need 3 of them, and then
I
you go
rolled.
to hell.
I rolled a natural
Natural
one
one.
twice in a row. This means I'm definitely gonna
That's
win
not
that
a point,
BTS
it's a
ticket
console.
later.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All
So
your
much
luck is
bad
going-
luck, yeah.
All your luck is going to the BTS ticket and out of the dice.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening. I'm trying to win a BTS ticket lottery. I feel like all my luck is staying
drained
away
away.
for that.
Well, both of you fall asleep
Okay.
Oh boy.
because you missed the DC of 15.
So she just like slunks out from under my tail. Oh,
No.
Mihi.
Who's awake?
Is my tail that heavy?
Yeah.
Whoa, did I just do that? Mihi, are you okay?
The ones who got the red fell asleep. I don't know if
Sokka's
it's good or
asleep,
bad.
too.
No, Aegon, no.
Whoa, okay.
Don't touch
you
me
need a moment,
there.
apparently. Let me step to the side. What is going on?
Well, I don't. Do we
know-
have the
do you
time to
know
talk?
this person?
What about the
You
pixies?
say a few things as Dr. Sharp keeps walking
Do it.
towards you.
Okay, so pixies are not attacking. That's why
You,
we're
Yeah,
seem,
yeah.
you seem like you recognize her. Who's this person? What is she doing to us?
Dr. Sharp.
What's not Dr. Sharp is an old lady. I saw her picture on the ship.
Character.
Naked Dr. Sharp.
Yeah, well, I can see that, but are you sure that's Dr. Hi, Dr. Sharp. Why
Well,
are
she
And-
she knows us.
why are Mihi and Saga sleeping?
So yeah, it's like she kind of waves back at you.
I think maybe the pixies.
Should we try to go talk to her?
I would wait here.
Okay, let's just wait here.
Wait here.
I'm gonna like put like a
Put
rock
them
under
in an
Saga's
okay
head.
direction.
Yeah, like stuff some
No,
grass, make her a pillow.
I pick her up on my back.
Okay. So yeah.
Unless if I have the time. If I don't, well.
Well, I mean, so Dr. Sharp walks up to you and she kind of like touches your cheek, like almost like a little bit of a scratch.
Rabbit scratch.
Little
Mr.
scratch.
Sharp, you
Little
look
scratch.
much
Hello,
younger
large
than I saw you before.
Yes, I would.
Is it another thing that we just see and it's not really real?
No, this is real. It didn't feel real at first, but I think I'm starting to get used to it.
Did you travel back in time, or did you just come younger one day? How did this happen, Dr. Sharp, ma'am?
She answers you very literally. She starts using a lot of biological terminology. There's a lot of stuff about like cells and neutrinos and that sort of thing in there that you don't quite
So I'm guessing
follow.
it's a natural thing and not a time traveling thing.
Mostly because I mean she's doing this in the common language, and you didn't really study like the biological side of the common language. You know,
Right.
you did like engineering and like more like straight up tech sort of things, but when it comes to like actual like chemistry and that sort of thing and all those weird long names, like
Do I
you
get
just-
what she's saying?
You know exactly what she's talking about. Yeah, she's basically explaining like this a process of like actual cellular rejuvenation, which you know is like there's a working theory on how to on doing this. You know that like she's explaining like, you know, if the elements of the cell do this, then they, you know, start behaving as if they were younger and blah blah blah.
So she
blah,
found a
like-
Korean plastic surgery clinic in this
Yep.
forest.
But yeah, except that like again, it's an entirely theoretical model that no one's ever actually been able to make work in a laboratory.
Fascinating.
This is so exciting.
So how
It's
did
fine, don't care about
How
us
did this
sleeping.
You're asleep.
How did this come about? Like, is there some kind of plant you ingested? How did this happen?
It was. I'm struggling to avoid the religious terminology, but
It was a spiritual experience.
no,
No.
it was pure science. But I was approved of by Nama.
Okay.
Sounds super
And Nama would be who exactly, or what?
AAA.
No, it's NAAMAH.
I knew there were 2 A's.
Yeah.
The first 2.
It's like we've been taking notes.
ever studious.
She's never gonna make that mistake again.
Oh.
Nama is not entirely ready to reveal herself to you.
I just
Okay, so
dreamt
this
that I
is,
was 10 years
so
old
this is-
again.
This is a person
I
then.
was sad.
This is an actual person then. Or you've met this being anyway, and that's how you. Well, that's how this happened.
We have talked, yes.
Okay. I was wondering also if maybe our
Why are they
friends could
asleep?
wake up. They
Did
fell
you make them
asleep
fall asleep?
suddenly. Could you possibly maybe wake them up if you don't mind?
No, it's not time yet.
Oh, okay.
5 minutes.
Why not?
Are we going? Did you plan on going back to the camp? We were coming looking out for you, actually. That's why we came here.
Didn't you... You know, these forward teams, like Ranger 1, the first team down on the planet, it's very dangerous. They're normally reserved for the roughest and toughest and youngest among the group. It took me a long time to convince Gleason to allow me to lead Ranger 1 on this mission. The cancer largely convinced him. This is news to you.
Oh, you didn't know she had cancer.
She's like Deadpool. I'm sorry.
She.
I knew
I said she's like Deadpool.
I knew from experience how long it would take for us to get our first colony set up, and I honestly wasn't sure I would last that long. I needed to see home. I wanted to die in the place that our species was born. Well, my species.
You were sick.
Was.
That's what I was going to ask.
You're
Dr.
not
Sharper.
sick
You,
anymore?
along with this.
Do I look sick to you?
You don't.
You don't look sick.
You look asleep.
Yeah, I just was wondering why our friends cannot wake up at this time. What
She made them sleep.
It's like,
Thank
stop
you,
being retarded.
right.
Stop being retarded. Not good with people.
Nama has her reasons.
Okay, so I mean, are they okay though? Should we move them?
Oh, of course, they'll be fine. They'll be fine, and they'll be moved safely.
Oh, do we know how long they might be asleep? 'Cause,
Where do you want to bring them?
Hold on, I'm talking. We're supposed to report back to the camp. Like, are they going to be asleep for a while?
Yes, the report. We need to talk about that.
Ah, okay.
You see,
I get a notebook.
this area is under Nama's protection,
Okay.
and she has decided that a colony in this area is undesirable.
Ah.
That's why we keep running in trouble.
I see. So you're saying that's what we should report back, that there should not be a colony here.
This area, and let's see here, and she kind of grabs like your little digital tablet,
Yeah.
you know, like you're on your arm, and she quickly like types in a series of numbers, like just like a fairly like, you know, it's
Technical thing.
yeah, like there's some, you know,
Like
latitude and longitude.
coordinates or
Something
It's
that
latitude and
Solomon would be
longitude.
able to read.
It's latitude and longitude with a short like equation on it, which maths was not like your strongest.
It's never
suit,
been.
But you do recognize that this equation is making a circle.
See, she is a math person even when she sleeps.
She like twitches.
So
And she's been reading the story.
within the
So it's
within
like,
this region here, we are not allowed to have.
Then that makes sense.
The area. This area will. Oh yeah, you definitely recognize it as the sum for as a equation for a circle. This area, you will report, is inhospitable.
Okay. Okay.
Which is kind of
We've
true.
That's kind of been our experience thus far. We've had some very interesting things.
So
happen.
does it
happen
mean
to
that the
us.
rest of the planet is not?
It's really confusing when two people talk at once. Go ahead.
Mm-mm. Does it mean that everything else on the planet is fine except that little dot? That you said it's a circle. Right?
Nothing else on the planet is under Nama's protection.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
that's been our experience. We've had some very interesting and troubling things happen to us along the way so far.
She hasn't wanted to harm anyone,
Ah,
but
well, once we almost died.
But
she needed to demonstrate her ability to create inhospitality.
I see.
that worked.
Well,
Amelia got really hurt.
what if we don't have a colony here necessarily, but would it be okay to investigate, like, just take a look around and see what kind of things are here, or does she just want us to get out?
There are some that she will permit. The others she will deal with.
Can we know that so that we don't put people in trouble?
That's why I'm telling you.
I'm sorry.
Damn. And how about you, Dr. Sharp? Will you stay here?
If I leave, the cancer comes back.
She is Deadpool.
And I would lose the connection, which I'm honestly finding delightful.
I see.
There's so many of us.
Here?
Somewhere.
Many of who? Humans?
Not exclusively.
Okay.
Not
She's a biologist, so maybe us.
strictly.
So what do you mean by us?
The others that are connected.
To the non.
She's here too.
Okay.
Emma is a woman.
I
That's very interesting.
honestly don't entirely understand it yet, but I hope to.
Okay, I see.
So what should we report as about you, Doctor?
I mean, I think we'll just tell them that she's not coming back. She's found her peace. I think
I
would
mean, I don't-
understand
And she says, so here,
I feel like we should.
she looks at you and say like, and then like as she's looking at you, you can see like her bone structure begin to change, like her cheekbones take on a different shape. Her nose becomes a little bit longer and has a little bit more of like a curve to it. Her hairline comes a little farther down her forehead. Her eyes change color. They get a little bit longer and kind of outset just a little bit to the sides. Her eyebrows take on like a softer arch to them and they get a little bit thicker. Her lower lip gets a little bit thinner. Her lower lip gets a little bit thicker.
You said lower lip twice, so it got thinner
Oh,
and
sorry.
then
Her
thicker.
upper lip. Sorry,
Thinner,
her upper lip gets a
thicker.
little bit thinner. Her lower lip gets a little bit thicker. Her chin becomes a little more pointed. This part of her jawline. I don't know the name. This has probably got a name, but I don't know what it is. Yeah. The corner of her jaw rises up a little. Her detached earlobe attaches to the skin, and she just looks like a different person now. And
anyone that we recognize?
no one you recognize. And just like you will
Never
report that you haven't found Dr. Sharp.
Ah, okay.
Mandible.
Mandible, thank you.
But so you would like
Yeah,
us
like the whole
to
thing.
tell them
I don't
that
think there's
not
anything-
We can see you at all. I mean, well, clearly
I take a step.
you are not Dr.
like,
Sharp
away.
anymore.
Dr. Sharp is here.
Yes. Right. But okay. So you would like for us to tell them that we didn't find you. In reference to what my colleague here said, what is permissible and not permissible within the circle? Like, I mean, I assume we're not allowed to take anything, but like, can we like take pictures? Can we like touch things? Can we braid our hair in the,
Can we bring a
in
fairy?
the grass?
She's like, just leave.
There is a time for everything. Anything that is done in its proper season is permissible.
It's pretty vague. Okay.
So wait,
well,
she just wants us to like leave the planet, or just the
Yeah,
circle?
No,
she
the
just doesn't want us
circle.
to colonize within the circle. But then, like,
Mm.
I'm asking because before Aleti said, like, well, like, we can, like, when I said, can we look around? She was like, well, what can we do and what can we not do?
Mhm.
Because we don't want anyone to die. And then she gave some vague answer.
She was like, "That's why I'm here."
This is what I'm explaining to you. So I'm trying to get her to tell me more detail, but she ain't telling me much more.
Are you? I'm kind of like, are you Dr. Sharp or are you somebody else? Because this is scary. 'Cause-
Aleti is a simple soul. You have to explain things very specifically to her.
I want to ask questions to Dr. Sharp, but I don't want to talk to a stranger.
She's a little shy of strangers. You have to excuse her.
She just starts yelling, "Stranger danger!"
So as you say that, these two foxes,
Oh boy.
these two red foxes, come trotting out of the woods. They get up on their hind legs, and then you watch as they take on like a more human form.
shape.
One of them looks like Dr. Sharp,
Ugh.
and she says,
Is she still
You're not gonna get me.
"Yeah, still,
Dr.
yeah,
Sharp
still
is
naked,
not a
still like
fox.
32. I am now, honey."
I'm a fox now.
And she's like, "I'm here."
But that was a fox.
Wow.
And she says, "Remember, one of the first rules of physics: matter can neither be created nor destroyed, but merely take on a different form."
That's the most impressive application of that law I've seen.
Wow, this is really weird. So you can just change bodies like that, Dr. Sharp?
The first
was
first one
never
goes,
Dr. Sharp.
Dr. Sharp is here.
Like, was never Dr. Sharp. Yes and no at the same time.
So the fox looks like Dr. Sharp, but the person over there
Who
is
originally looked like Dr.
is
Sharp.
Was
saying
never-
Dr. Sharp is here. So the,
Yes.
the Dr. Sharp form is not saying anything.
Yeah, no.
She's just standing there. Aleti, this is some weird ass shit. I'm not really sure what's happening in front of my eyes right now. Do you think we're hallucinating again?
I wish, but I think no.
Jukira kind of slaps herself in the face with her tail.
I mean to
No, they're
take
still there.
Minnie on my back. Do they stop me?
Well, the other former fox form is a fairly burly young man, and he says like, "No, I'll take care of that." And he kind of like grabs Mihi in like a fireman's carry.
Do we come back for them? Should we just wait here?
And then the fox form that looks like Dr. Sharp again changes again into like a very like
A strong looking.
muscular version of Dr. Sharp, like
Oh.
the bodybuilder
Oh,
version.
that's so weird.
Still naked?
Yeah. And slightly glistening. And she picks up Saga. So yes, Mihi is currently being carried by a very burly naked man.
Can Jukira like put her
Oh,
tail
there-
over
he's
Saga
naked?
and be
Yeah.
like, and be
Okay.
like, wait, can
She
we,
likes it.
Do we just wait
I'm
here
like-
for them to come back, or what do we do now?
And like the burly young naked man holding Mihi, turns to you and
Lucky
says, "You're coming with us."
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
so-
Alrighty,
going
let
this
me
way.
just pick up my bow and arrow, and I guess we're following them now. What is happening, Letty?
So the
I'm gently petting his abs with my ears.
Like when you're
still
sleeping.
asleep.
Still asleep,
much
very much asleep.
What?
Just
I'm drooling on.
Oh,
And she's
boy.
like, Daddy.
ew. No, ew, no. I do not have
Edit
a
that out. Let's just edit that
no
out.
daddy fetish. That's not.
So she's
the
not a
thing.
daddy
No.
person.
Mm-mm.
no.
Everyone.
Anyway, so I'm gonna follow the
But we know you love single fathers.
Yeah.
on your love single dads. My iPad said so.
That's true. It did.
You should try the game. The virtual game.
There's a single dad virtual game.
It's a Japanese style dating sim.
Just a
Where
single dad.
yeah, it's a gay single dad dating sim.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds just
Oh,
I can't
yeah.
remember where that joke
Thrilling.
was from. Can you remind my brain?
Very, very
the
specific
auto
niche.
correct.
So remember when we were in the
Oh,
restaurant there,
yes,
and it was like,
okay.
it's like
Okay, I
we
was
all
like,
put
I
our
know-
names, like
yes.
Anya loves, like Ariane loves, whatever, and like
Yes,
the one that my
single
iPad came
dads.
up was Anya loves
Single
single
dads.
dads.
Yes, I was like, I know I'm supposed to know. My brain's
And
not
single
remembering.
dads was like
Yeah, it
one
was one
option.
phrase. Yeah,
It
it
was
was
just a
like
Anya
phrase.
loves
single
single
dads, like as one phrase. And I was like,
With the plural. With the plural.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, because I screen capped it. I was like,
Oh
"Wait,
yeah, that was
what
fabulous.
is happening right now?
Oof, man. Yeah, that was impressive.
That was something else. Anyway.
See, this
Anyway,
is why I
All
made
right.
that bad
I'm
joke.
following
This is why.
closely
Yes,
behind.
Dream Daddy. I was actually trying to remember the name of that
Dream
right
Daddy.
now.
Daddy.
Ew.
I'm following
Daddy.
behind the fox that is carrying.
Yes.
I look behind. Where are the fairies? Fairies.
Oh, no, the pixies are just sort of floating around the original figure who has returned to looking like Dr. Sharp.
Can you tell me why they changed colors?
So weird.
We're following the foxes. Are you asking the fox? Oh yeah.
I'm asking Dr. Sharp, the most Dr. Sharp looking person.
So you're not following the foxes that are carrying away Miki? You're
The,
staying there with.
well, that's one of them is
Oh.
the one carrying her is Dr. Sharp, but muscular.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, so you're asking this one.
Yeah.
you asking the muscular Dr. Sharp?
Yeah.
Okay. And she says, they're kind of like mood rings.
So they are angry?
Well, the red
They're-
ones were probably.
They are displeased.
What about the yellow one?
I was about to say I was about to say the selfish, why didn't I get one? I was like,
Yeah, you probably don't want a fairy
It's just like-
to turn red at you. What
It's
about
like-
the yellow one? Is the yellow one just
And
she's a little sad? Ooh.
she's thinking and it's pretty clear that she's like trying to figure out like the right word to use, and she says that one was
I found it.
disappointed.
That one.
No, mine
Yeah,
was
me
red.
too, that test
They were
is
super
the
Oh,
one.
the yellow one was.
Yeah, the yellow one.
I found it by
Test?
the way.
Wow.
We can see that. It's actually even better than you thought. It was you just typed Anya and it literally was loves single dads.
as one
Oh,
sentence.
that's right. It was,
yeah.
Even better
This
than I
is
thought,
on her
Anya.
autocorrect.
Loves
single
dads.
dads.
I literally just
Yep.
typed Anya and has one big full phrase. Why? Why?
So this is why my brain remembered this. That's why I made that bad.
Love single dads. Like.
Daddy.
yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Anywho.
So the fairies are displeased and disappointed. I see. How did they know those memories about us? It's a little
Memories?
disconcerting. Or memories about me?
It's
Is that
something
another-
Nama can do.
I mean, oh.
Because I didn't know you had the same experience.
No, it's more for me.
Yeah.
No, it was for me. It's more like that's why I said memories because
Yeah.
I thought it was just a random thing that I remembered.
I'll explain later. Don't worry about it. You'll.
Okay, so yeah, so
They're
the,
like
the,
sleeping.
the two fox forms walk you guys out of the forest and back onto the plains, tall grass, and you walk for another maybe about let's see, what would that be? About 2.5 hours.
Oh,
Wow.
no big deal.
Okay, so while we're walking, we have a conversation about what each of our memories
Yeah,
were.
yeah, yeah.
And it was the weirdest thing. It was like so stressful. That test was the most stressful thing of my life. Blah blah blah.
Do you think they also had memories back and they were really,
Probably.
really sad memories?
Probably. I don't know why they're asleep and we're not. though. I
She's
don't know.
crying.
Yeah, she was freaking out. So very weird. And Mr. Fox, how far are we going?
We're going to where it's more hospitable for you.
So
Okay, thank
out
I
of the
see.
circle?
Roughly.
you. So we walked for 2.5 hours. Dang, long walk.
Yeah. So, well, you're not going particularly fast. It's kind of a leisurely stroll of a pace.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, you finally, getting through all of this tall grass, you eventually reach a point where, like the grass this tall grass just stops. And
Like-
looking
like a roadway.
around, like it's a very abrupt, very sharp edge.
I
To
bend and
its-
I look.
And yeah, you can see, like, when you sort of look off to the sides, there's a sort of gentle curve to the line, to the edge of the grass. Now, just beyond the edge of the grass where you are, the earth has been, like, I mean, it's just dirt, and it's been, like, heavily overturned, and, like, there are very obvious hoof prints. Hundreds of hoof prints in the dirt around, and like the dirt extends for several meters. Like it's a fairly wide expanse of just this like beaten down, well trodden earth, just full of hoof prints. And then beyond that, you have more plains, which are not nearly as fertile as the area where you have been.
Like the Nama area was
Yeah.
super.
There are plants there, but most of them are growing a little bit lower to the ground. There are occasionally these very tall plants that have like a flowering top to them, but they're kind of sparse. There are these patches of very tightly growing purplish green grass, just little tight bundles of it that just grows really really close together. And
Are there poop samples I can pick?
let's see here. Yeah, if you go through,
We need
like,
3 more samples.
you could find some poop samples if you looked around for a
And
bit.
every time I'm looking, I'm like, do they let me?
Well, I mean,
You're
yeah.
outside, you're in the.
I know,
So
but-
the
the,
battery
is it-
right
the
now.
fox forms don't leave the circle.
Oh, they stay
Uh,
there.
yeah,
They stay
they
right at the
set
edge.
they set Mihi and Saga
And so we
down
put,
on the grass, like at the very very edge of where the grass is growing, and then they wake up.
I didn't steal cookies.
Thank God. we're okay.
I love her.
It wasn't me.
We have some things to, and then do the foxes leave
well,
immediately?
No, they're still standing there.
Are you okay?
Don't be alarmed, but there are some fox people behind you. It all
Sample.
makes sense.
What?
Makes sense.
What
Just,
does
uh,
not
we'll-
look like muscular Dr.
We will explain everything. It's the most
This is not
Think
Dr.
May's
Sharp.
just
You didn't see
shocked.
Dr. Sharp here.
a bit strange things happen. Yeah.
No, let's sleep.
Well, okay. Eventually, we have to go back to our camp, Dr. Fox. Wink, wink. Can we pass back through the circle to go back to our camp, or is Nama going to?
The camp- It's
What?
not.
We're outside the
Don't we
circle
have to go through the circle to get
They
back to
want-
where the camp is?
The Ranger 1 camp is inside the circle,
But
but
you mean
like
the other one
Sullivan's
isn't.
camp wouldn't be.
Isn't it on the other side of where we just
Yeah, we would have to do a
That's what I'm
big
saying. Instead of
circle.
going all the way around, like, can we pass through the circle? to go
It
back
might
to
be
our
less
camp?
dangerous to just go
Well, that's
out.
what I'm asking.
Where are we?
Oh yeah, so okay, so one of the foxes kind of indicates them, and it's like Nama would prefer that they stay outside.
What do we have to do in order for Nama to
They.
like us?
You-
Those mums.
Wait.
Us.
You and me?
Us.
And
Why
It
are we
is-
asleep?
Hold on.
It's a question of character.
So we can
she
go
thinks
in
that
and they
we
can't.
do not have good character.
You're okay.
Ah. I see. So they are not permitted to be in the circle.
Nama would prefer that they not come back.
Oh.
does it mean that we'll never see you again?
Is there anything that they can do to earn Nama's favor?
She's like, I want to be young and
Yeah,
beautiful.
They are welcome to try.
Here.
Is there any suggestions to give?
Sure.
What they should try?
Try what?
And one of the things is like
She must be
It's a
so pissed because
matter-
she's.
a character.
Okay. Okay.
So I show the. Fuck this.
Well, thank you
Your
for
character.
the ride to the edge of the circle. And
So yeah,
Yeah.
as you guys have woken up, you've woken up and there's these two very muscular naked people standing
Yeah.
above you.
Yeah,
Like
we-
they just laid you down on the
we need to have
grass.
a meeting with the four
Yeah.
of us here.
And then
For the information.
I'm pretty sure I'm mostly in shock.
yeah, which is reasonable. Well, hold on to that because as this conversation finishes, the two muscular figures
Twins
sort
back.
of shrink down and start growing this
Hair.
red and white hair on their bodies until they become foxes again.
Great.
Yeah, that happened
That's
in reverse a
everyone.
few minutes
Everyone
ago.
can see that this.
Yeah,
Then you see, we're not actually
Don't-
doing
don't
anything.
worry,
We're like,
we all saw this happened in reverse about 10 minutes ago. No,
No,
it's been 2.5 hours.
3 hours.
About 3 hours ago.
One of them, one of the foxes closest to you, Mihi, holds up a hand because one of its hands is still human,
Ew.
and it goes like this.
Ew, it's a finger fox.
That's so scary.
Finger fox, finger all the way.
You really have to be careful with pronouncing that vowel.
I just realized that.
It's sort of that universal gesture for wait a second, and then it gets closer to you, and it kind of sniffs at a couple places, and then it sniffs kind of at your neck, and then it kind of gives you a couple of licks
Oh dear.
on your neck,
Oh dear.
and then it kind of leans back, and its hand turns into like a proper paw, and just sort of nods.
What? What is happening?
But is it?
I'm not really sure what that was about, although I do know that foxes like to chase rabbits.
Is it
so-
still like next to
Oh.
me?
Yeah, it's just sort of sitting there watching you.
He might want to eat you.
Wait, was that the
I'm not
muscular
sure.
one?
No,
It
that was
used to
Dr.
be.
Sharp.
Yeah, yeah.
They were
That-
both
that-
muscular.
No, I mean,
Oh,
was it
that
the
was the
dude that was
guy.
Yeah, it was
carrying
the dude,
me?
yeah.
But I guess I'm not.
Like you're a rabbit, he's a fox.
Yeah.
So
He
might wanna eat you.
She's bigger than him though.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's small for an
Maybe he was
Apana.
just
I like don't
saying,
want to offend him.
She's still bigger than him.
I'm just gonna go like. Just like
Sure.
He seems fine with it.
pat him on the head.
Yeah.
So, us two need to have a conversation with you two, because some weird stuff happened while you were asleep.
I just want to know where we are.
We're at the edge of the circle, and
If
you
we
and
find-
Mihi are not allowed to go back in,
If
or they
we-
will kill you.
Basically,
Uh,
this zone.
And also, we are not allowed to say that Dr. Sharp is here, because technically we didn't
shh.
actually see her. She's not here.
I didn't actually see her. What
Yeah,
are you
I was
talking
like,
about?
why are you? I was like, shh.
Well, one of the foxes looked like
No,
Dr. Sharp.
but they changed
Roughly,
before they
like a
noticed.
very
I mean, like,
young, very
They
muscular
didn't
Dr.
notice
Sharp.
before.
I don't think we would have
I
noticed
don't
before they
think
started
we,
changing into foxes.
Oh, so they wouldn't have recognized her?
Probably not.
like
I don't think I
50-year
know
younger,
her.
muscular
Okay, well, if they
bodybuilder.
didn't
Probably
recognize
not.
her, then I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
Because I just thought, like, oh, there's Dr. Sharp. Like, they would already, like, know.
I don't
So
think
then we
so.
would have to decide
No.
as a group, like, so, okay, fine, then I'm not saying anything.
So we
You're about to say, and I'm like,
Yeah, so the foxes, they,
Foxter Sharp.
it was
okay,
very-
fucks the shark.
Basically, what happened is we went into this place and you guys saw the fairies, right?
Right.
And then suddenly the two
Yeah.
of you fell asleep and we didn't, and then this being came out, naked, by the way. But
It
so,
seems like
I always
everyone's-
feel a little unsettled when I see humans naked. No offense,
Naked.
Saga. It's just
You
a bit
have
weird.
not seen me.
I haven't. I don't know. Like Shakira, you know.
I generally don't
She
mind.
prefers the demurring human
We
body.
know
Kind
that.
of weird naked, but whatever. Anyway, this human being, this naked human female being came out and explained to us that this person called, well, I don't know if it's a person. This thing called Nama is kind of the owner of this circle territory, and it's
I
We-
showed
yeah.
the location thing.
we
This
we
area we
cannot-
can't go in.
I don't
Well,
know,
no,
I
no,
have
no,
an
no, no.
intelligence of
No,
4.
no,
I don't
not
know
that.
what
We
circle
cannot
is.
build a colony inside of this circle, and you two are not even allowed inside anymore.
So we didn't pass the test for this club.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
See it that way.
I don't know. Aleti and I were talking on the way here, and we both had like very vivid memories of something that happened to us a long time ago. Did that also happen to you guys?
Yeah, but
Yes.
Yeah.
okay.
That
It
might-
wasn't something I wanted to think about.
That's
That
fine.
might be
again.
that might be the reason that
Was it a bad thing? Because they
If
turned
you
red
fell
when you
asleep.
fell asleep.
So is she the person, like, the thing who created, like, all this?
no, the being that spoke to us
Um,
was not Nama,
grass-
but she did explain that the fairies were displeased.
Grass
and-
wolves and...
Yes, yeah. This Nama person was the one that sent all of that to get us out of the colony.
So the
And
good
then
news
circle.
is,
Because we cannot colonize there. So now we have to figure out what to tell
the
to-
good news is we can colonize anywhere else except
oh, yeah,
for the
because
fairy
it looks
mountain.
Great, doesn't it? With this clump of overturned dirt. What a great place to colonize.
I
Good
have
one,
a
good one,
question.
Aleti.
Who's got the animal sampling?
I got the animal sampling.
Right. Is there any sample that you
Oh,
don't
that's
want?
what I was like. Well, I didn't get to look. Let's look out of
Are
the
you
circle
hungry?
and see for samples.
No, I want to say if there's any samples that you don't want.
Do you want to throw samples at somebody? I have poop.
you're a botanist, so I know you want the plants. That's why
Well,
No,
Did
no,
they say
I'm
we
the animal.
shouldn't take
I'm
anything
a
from
biologist
the
for
circle?
animals.
I don't
She
know.
didn't say specifically because I asked that question.
Zoologist.
Zoologist.
I asked
Zoologist.
specifically
Did you
that
use zoology?
question,
Yeah.
and I said,
Yeah.
Give me the plants.
Why?
Because oh sorry.
No, go ahead.
If
Oh,
if there is something that owns this place, I don't want the guys over there to know anything about it.
oh.
Sorry, Commander.
Well, Mihi just asked if we were allowed to take samples, and what my response was going to be was that I asked this being like, you know, okay, we can't colonize here, but can we look at things or investigate or take samples or take pictures? And she was very vague.
Mm.
She said some things are permitted and some things are not, and didn't say what it was.
I learned not so long ago that it doesn't
Why do
really
you sound
matter.
drunk, Saga?
I like this like super like deep sleep.
Yeah, that was-
I feel kind of like drugged.
This is the best sleep I've had in years.
I learned not so long ago, or maybe it was, I don't know, we were sleeping for 40 years, that doesn't matter, time.
It's not real.
I learned, that's not the main point, I learned that it doesn't matter if you think you're doing your job in the best way, there's always some people who are gonna take advantage of your good
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of
ideas. So I would like to just not give those
To the
people
fox.
the
Opportunity.
opportunity, thank you, to fuck things up. So
you know what? I might
Well-
ghost the trebuchet.
Well,
I might
well,
be,
I'm in.
I might
Well,
be
I'm in charge of the fauna, so you can deal with
I might
that.
be prone to agree with you actually, because it seems like whatever is here does not want us to like mess with the balance of
Right.
whatever it is.
Yeah, I doubt it's a very good idea to let anyone know that there's a.
Well, we should let them know that the circle is dangerous.
Yep.
Which I guess they already know that, but
let them know that the circle has already inhabitants that clearly have been here before us.
yeah, and it's not a good idea to colonize.
So
And I mean, if you're picking up dirt, I don't think there's much to colonize outside the circle, but I suppose
the
it's
earth is
try
big
it.
though.
We
It's
can
true.
make new things,
It's very
maybe.
true.
Well, I mean, it's
It's
like
not
it's
like-
obviously like a desert, but it's not.
It's not like
It's
bad.
not completely uninhabitable.
Right.
No, it's just it's
Like,
not.
This,
As
this is
luxurious.
this is a place where like, I mean, you could set up a colony out here. You know, there would obviously be like some immediate issues with water and that sort of thing, and
Right.
Yeah, but
it's not ideal, but it's not. It's
It's
not
not
like it's not a
uninhabitable.
harsh environment, really.
Okay.
It's just
okay.
like the other one is so like beautiful and
Yeah.
like shiny and like watery and beautiful air and everything.
Because I mean, like looking out farther on the plain, like you can see like copses of trees here and there as well, like plants and obviously animals. Again, you're sitting like
Yeah,
that
there's
dirt you're
tons
picking
of
up is
animals.
covered with like hundreds of hoof prints. So plants and animals are living out here.
It's
just-
just not. It's just not the nice
it's
side of
not-
town.
Yeah, it's just not as nice as what's in the
It's
circle
just the
now.
bad side of town. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
I
well, I'm
agree
gonna
with
get-
you, Saga. I think we should give the samples back.
but not all.
Let's
only
just
the
get
ones that we
samples
took
from here.
Inside.
We
Okay.
have a more immediate problem.
Right.
What's that?
If we can't go into the circle,
Yeah, it's gonna take us a long ass time to get
we
back
need to
camp.
start walking.
Ah.
Or camp
And
out one
at-
of these copses of trees for
Yeah.
the night.
And as you hear that, let's see here. There's this kind of rolling
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
rumble sound from the earth.
From the earth. That's scary.
Yeah,
We're about to be stampeded by a herd of buffalo.
No, it sounds more like the beginnings of an earthquake,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
but it's very obviously coming from the west.
In or
within
out
the
of the
circle?
circle.
Yeah, that'd be inside the circle, and you watch like the foxes kind of like move a little bit to sort of look, and you watch as Ranger 1,
Yes!
the dropship, is carried.
Oh, Ranger One. Oh shit.
The Ranger 1 dropship is carried
Oh.
by this rolling mass of ground.
I don't want
Yeah.
your shit in my.
and then it gets towards the edge of the circle, and then it's sort of almost thrown,
And then the ears go down.
and it goes up in the air a little bit, and then it kind of like just like topples and rolls out onto the plane. It lands
Whoa.
upside down.
Oh my
Of course it
gosh!
does.
Wow.
What about
Does anything else come out? Just the ship?
Take your shit.
Yeah.
Just the ship. Like none of the other like camp stuff like comes out. Just the ship comes out.
Yeah, just the ship.
And then you're like, what about Ranger 2?
It's outside the circle.
It's outside the circle.
It's outside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Ranger 2 was inside.
Yeah, they were
Ranger
both
2 was
Oh,
inside.
that's all we
We were
said at the
outside.
camp outside the circle.
We were
No,
both in.
no.
The
we
camp.
Yeah.
The
We were
camp
close
that
to the
Solomon
outside.
made
Is outside the circle.
is outside
I
the
thought that was
circle.
Ranger 2.
No.
I
No, no,
thought
no.
we crashed
No.
just outside the circle.
No,
Yeah,
you
it's
crashed
Ranger 2.
more like just inside the
So
circle.
Ranger 2
Yeah.
is still inside there? They threw
Yeah.
out Ranger 1.
Where's my ship?
Well, Ranger 2 is far away enough that if this happened to it, you wouldn't have been able to
Oh,
see
yeah, it would have
it.
been like on the other side.
Yeah, it's way over there.
So
So
the
it-
Earth
it
threw
might be
Ranger 1
outside.
out and it's upside down now? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what just happened?
Yeah,
Jeez.
they didn't
So, yeah.
sort of like they didn't sort of like lately bring it over. They just sort of threw it out.
That was cool.
Ah.
They threw out the garbage.
That's destroyed.
Well,
Mm.
why don't we go check that out?
Maybe it's gonna fly now. After
It's
it's been
upside down.
fixed.
Fox, it's nice to meet you. Hope to see you again, actually. Sorry about these two.
I'm gonna pat
Um,
him on the head one more time because I like him now.
He's into it.
We might pass him away, perhaps, sometime soon.
I kneel toward the other fox. That's Dr. Sharp.
And then like
Cute.
she kind of and like that fox kind of like shakes her head a little bit, you know, like
Not a yes, not a no.
and like you can see some rippling in the fur around her throat, and then she starts speaking in a human voice.
Oh, that's creepy.
And
I
she-
immediately stopped petting the other one.
And yeah, in a human voice, with some, it's roughly a human voice, but it's somewhat,
Foxy?
Barky.
it's somewhat slurred by the, you know, like the
Fox
geography
Yeah.
of like the fox's mouth.
Morphology.
I
Morphology.
guess it would be, yeah, it would be morphology. And it's, and she says, in something of an odd accent, for everything there is a season, and a time for everything under the sun. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to harvest.
I know
A
this.
time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to break down, and a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to throw stones, and a time to gather stones. A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to seek, and a time to lose. A time to keep, and a time to cast away. A time to tear, and a time to sow. A time to keep silence, and a time to speak. A time to love, and a time to hate. A time for war, and a time for peace. And then she kind of shakes again, and like you see the rippling again.
Why do you say you know
That's
that?
very beautiful. It's from the Bible.
It's,
It's
al-
also-
It's also a song.
It's yeah. It's also rough. It's also roughly what you
A
You
time
heard-
to something.
it's yeah that.
Yeah.
No, it's a time. No, it's roughly what you heard her say before when she
Yeah.
asked about coming back and like taking pictures and that sort of
Yeah.
thing. Like,
Taking
I think it's,
Can we take a selfie inside the circle?
Can you selfie just real quick? Instagram
No
post.
selfies in the church.
I won't geotag it.
Yeah, no geotags. You just put a selfie, put it on Instagram, then we'll get out of your circle. Oh, that was beautiful, Dr. Sharp.
Hashtag
Thank you.
circle.
Don't say.
you say to the fox.
I'm Dr. Farks. Dr. Farks is what I said.
Why did you just call the doctor out? Why did you just call that fox the doctor?
Sharp.
Oh, I'm pretending I didn't hear that part because
Oh,
she
okay.
said Dr. Fox.
Dr. Farks. Oh, something about this fox comes across like a doctor.
He looks like he has a PhD.
Yes. Wow, no. I'm not gonna make that joke.
Examining the fox.
Yeah,
I'm
he
glad
does.
that 1,000 years in the future we still have PhDs.
Fundamental part of society.
I think it's time to throw.
That was very beautiful. Yeah. But wait, but you already said, are we gonna see you again, Dr. Sharp, in front of
No,
us?
I did not say that. I knelt and I pet it and I said, does that mean we want to see you again?
You said Dr. Sharp.
I did not.
We'll check
I
the video.
went I went to
But anyway,
Doc-
it doesn't matter. It doesn't
I
matter.
said I went to Dr. Sharp and I said
Mhm.
my words were not saying.
Anyway,
Anyway.
just
Yeah.
pretending
And I
I
was
didn't
That
hear.
very
also
beautiful.
whispering.
Thank you for that. That was very
Time to throw.
Yeah, let's put the samples back and then let's go check out Ranger 1 and see what's
So Saga just starts like
salvageable.
opening
and
up
this
like
is for the fucking flower!
the.
This is for the fucking stairs!
I
Maybe
look.
we should put it back nicely.
Throwing the samples, but
It's just a set down on the edge of the.
Well,
opening up the sample containers, like pouring them out.
Yeah, I was just like, go away.
every sample we have is from there, so we have to start again.
I think that's probably for the best.
Do I have? I don't really have them all on me though. A lot of them are on the ship.
Yeah, you had quite a few like on the ship that is now outside the circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. They can, yeah.
But you can take them off. and
So
keep them
the
back.
ones I have on me, I can just here, and
Okay.
then let's start again.
Angrily throwing it.
the few that you have, yeah.
Should
Okay.
we check
So-
out Ranger 1?
While you
Yeah,
fix
let's
the
check it
machine that I can't help with, can I look
Well, I
around
don't know if we
for
can fix
fauna
it either, but
samples?
Yeah, go ahead. We're
Sure.
gonna see if there's anything salvageable.
Why are
on
we
the ship.
checking Ranger 1?
Just to see.
So
like,
if we
there's
can
anything,
fly
like,
it-
salvageable. Well, we're not
Well, it's
gonna fly,
outside
but-
of this.
We're outside
It's
the circle.
outside of the electrical.
Yeah, maybe
issue.
we
It
can
wouldn't
salvage
work.
something. Let's go check it out.
Okay, so yeah, you guys. It only takes you. It landed pretty close to you. Not like dangerously close, but like. Yeah, not dangerously close, but just like it's right there. So yeah, you guys walk over. Ileti is the only one who's actually able to hit the button to open up the hatch. Because she's the only one who can like, jump that high. Jump like hit the thing.
I thought you said it was upside down.
It is.
It is upside
It
down.
is
That's why the
upside
button's
down.
really
Oh,
high.
I just made the connection. Got
That's
it.
why the
Wait,
button's
what?
really high up.
Maybe like,
Woohoo!
oh right.
Yeah, I'm about to leave for the fauna sample. You're like, no, come back. Why?
We need you to press something.
Yeah, it takes a bit of doing, but you guys manage to get inside because the ramp opens, but like it's not bombing now. Like it doesn't open down. It's like and you're like, oh, okay, well.
That's
Nice.
really helpful.
Like,
Yeah,
arms all
it
inside.
it creates a nice bit of shade if you want to have a picnic, but,
Oh yeah, picnic.
but that's about it. So
I need like a day at the spa after all the stuff I saw today. Oh my gosh.
it takes a bit of doing. It's not too bad though, because like the ramp is basically the entire back wall of the dropship.
So it's open very
Like-
high.
So now it's like from the bottom up.
We have
yeah.
to
But,
figure
like
out-
you still have like so it's like the base of the whole back wall is the ramp, so it's not too high up, so it doesn't take it's not too difficult, but yeah, it takes a little bit of doing. You manage to climb inside. So yeah, you're in the dropship. Everything is upside down,
Yay.
and well, upside down and like slightly to the right.
Well,
Right.
should we try the communication system?
Where
or...
is the bottom flipped ship?
Here's how
Flip
you-
Do we really have one of those buttons?
No, we don't. But this ship was
Well,
already.
if we do have that button, I don't want to be on the ship when you press it.
The electrical system of the ship was already fucked up because I remember we checked Ranger 1 when we were in the camp.
We did, you're
and
right.
we couldn't fly it.
But
Man,
it was,
that
We were
seems like
in the
but we
circle.
were in
though.
the circle.
Right. So, but I want.
I don't-
I'll check the electrical
We
system.
should check
to see if
everything
it
now that
will-
we're outside of the circle.
came out.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that's what you
Right,
mean.
right.
You want to check again. I
Yeah,
thought you
yeah,
were
yeah.
saying I'm not checking again.
No. That's.
Okay,
Check the
Letty's gonna
electrical
fiddle
system.
with the communication system.
Letty? I fiddle?
What is in my... I can't remember my own name. That's the second time I forgot my own character's name.
It's okay, I love
I need coffee.
Smells delicious. Though.
Me is
It's delicious.
Me too.
gonna
Banana.
try
Make it
to
yourself.
help her.
Homemade with almond milk.
Can I help with anything?
You can collect your samples if you like. Or that's,
I shall.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it okay?
Well,
Go ahead.
How's the electric system?
Let's see here.
this is me fiddling with the
It
communication
yeah
system.
it kind of it fritzes a little bit, but it comes on just fine.
Woo! Woo!
It's alive! The ship's
It
alive!
works! Now we just have to flip it.
How about the communication system
No.
that Jakir is
If
doing
we
Yeah, that's all on, and it's let's see here.
with? Mihi, it's on.
You've got a couple of red
voice.
bits, you've got a couple of bits of red text for pieces of machinery for like hardware
Things that
that
are,
is
like, broken,
broken.
yeah. Okay, it says the it doesn't work, and also it's broken, but everything else looks fine. It's working.
So yeah, you're not gonna be able to contact the Odyssey with this.
Okay, we can't.
Can
contact
we
the
can
Odyssey.
we
Can
get
we
a
contact the
signal
other-
to
the
like
camp
Solomon's
somehow?
camp?
Does it have a communication?
Oh yeah, they have to.
They
do
were
that.
well. He was literally
They have a
setting it up.
satellite relay.
Okay.
Now
we
we
would be
can.
able to communicate with that?
No.
Okay.
But guess what? With this thing, we can fly so fast. We can both find Ankana and Dr. Wayne and get back to the camp and get there before dinner.
It's still
The
upside down.
ship is upside down. How are we gonna do this?
What would happen if we just I'm a
We're just
doctor
gonna go to the
and not
side
an
and,
engineer.
like,
What would happen if we just rev the engines a little bit, and wouldn't it just
the ship might
Yeah,
explode.
I don't think it flies upside down.
Also, again, the dropships don't exactly
fly.
They just kind
they,
of
They sort of hover.
they can definitely hover. They can. The engines are basically like they have a little bit of maneuverability, but they're pretty much like straight up and down.
so it
ships.
could go up and then kind of
Like
glide forward.
I
again, like
see.
they don't really have the
Damn it.
aerodynamics to glide at all.
No.
Listen, like they don't really like. It's basically like a big box with engines attached to the side.
You are literally talking
So,
about space shuttle.
Can you send
drop-
Ranger 2, please?
Yeah, it's a drop ship, not.
Space shuttle without without the fuel and the things that makes it. Okay.
What
I
about
got it.
Ranger
With, it's,
2?
no, it's got the
Just a-
fuel. It just doesn't have the wings.
So
What about Ranger 2?
since we're on
Same
the
thing.
side, if we just turn the
On the side.
bottom
It's gonna fly.
engines on only, then we'll just glide across the desert.
If
Well, it really
anyone
only
could-
has bottom engines.
If anyone could do
I mean,
I know, that's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying,
like,
put
if
it
there,
on
I
the
was
side.
imagining like 4 on the bottom.
Yeah.
Like if you only turn on the 2 that
Yes.
are closer to the ground. That was my idea. No, you should just
it's worth a shot.
glide across the desert since it's gonna be broken anyway. At least we could try.
That would be funny. I'm not.
You know what I
there.
mean? Because it's supposed to go up and down. So if
Uh-huh.
it's sideways, then
Right.
wouldn't it just go
Okay, it's
more
not
sideways?
sideways. It's kind of.
But if you
tilt.
turned on like,
But it's like this.
but like,
If the ship is like this, it's
It's
like
gonna
this.
go underground.
no, it can't go underground. It would have to. The
That'd be
force would
cool.
eventually
Right?
push it
Oh,
to somewhere.
Like when you're in a raft and you only one side and the raft eventually
Yeah.
turns.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, like, if we're so the engines are like, so we're like this, yes.
It's roughly, yeah.
So I'm saying if we just like turn on like these 2 engines,
That you would just
eventually
go like this. You
And
know,
then you
like-
go on the side.
I say let's try.
we just go on the side and then we like push
Oh,
ourselves.
we just go
It's
like this.
so
straight.
yeah,
Yeah, let's
to
roll
make one
for-
correction to your drawing, it's more of like a broad box.
In which
It's
like
wide.
wider, like
It's
So
wider,
it would just
yeah.
like go like this. Bam.
yeah, like fall on the side.
It would
Or
fall. It
on the
would
top?
fall, and it would just like.
It would
So,
just
like,
not
the
do
reason-
anything.
The reason that
Yeah.
it's tilted is because there were rather, like instruments and that sort of thing on the top,
Uh-huh.
and it's sort of balancing on those at the moment.
So if we could push it onto its side,
But that would mean giving it the opposite direction. That's why we can't give it the.
no, I mean if we can
She
physically
wants it to drag on the floor like.
push it so that the engines are facing outwards,
Yeah.
and then we push it along the sand.
Yeah.
I mean that was my
I
that was
think
my
that would
best
be
idea.
very dangerous. And
That
would
was my
start
best
fires.
idea, or we just walk.
No,
Let's
no,
just
this is
get
a
out
good
of
What
here.
if Aleti and
good
I
idea.
go into the circle and we say, "Excuse me, can you make the Earth flip our ship over?"
I don't think they can flip things
They like
outside
it.
of the circle.
They can probably do whatever they want. I'm a little scared of them.
I
They
would.
can
I
send
have
the
a better
second one.
idea. No, we just walk. Yeah. Yeah, we just walk.
How long is it gonna take us
I
walking
don't know.
from
Where
here?
are we?
Wait, does Ranger 2 have a speakerphone? Can Ranger 1 communicate with Ranger 2 on loud and be
Or-
like, "If you can hear us, Earth, throw this ship out too"?
Or I can just take a
One
very
tempo.
fast run through the circle, go in and tell the others that that the rest of the team is coming, and wait for you guys.
Okay, how big is the circle and
That's
where
not a
are
bad
they?
idea.
Yeah. So taking a second look at the equation that they gave you, it's actually
Engines of 4.
Right, yeah.
remember.
You're looking at it, and it's actually a sphere.
Up and
Right.
down.
So
Yeah.
it covers
It's
the
a
air.
sphere,
Yeah.
and it has a radius of about 14 kilometers.
It's
Oh,
not
okay, so
bad.
it's not that bad.
It's not that big.
Maybe that's a good idea for Letty to run. Oh, but
Google, help me. How do I do this equation? Alright. I think it's like 14 per P. Per P?
Pi.
P.
Pi.
Pi.
Uh,
P.
Yeah.
okay.
We
So
say P in
that's
French too.
3. So look like?
3.14.
Math.
She's doing calculations. What are the rest of you doing?
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out how we could. I'm looking at the ship like.
I'm legit trying to contact.
Well,
her
I'm
too.
getting fauna samples.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, like that part of the communications is working,
Mhm.
and
To
all of to Ranger 2.
Mhm.
Everything that all that you're getting from the instruments tells you that you are making a good connection, but you're not getting any kind of an answer.
Okay.
Wait, Ranger 2.
Well, just for information's sake, guys.
Ranger 2 is the same
connect
exact
to
drop
Ranger
ship,
2.
but
Yeah.
just somewhere else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
just somewhere else. Yeah, it's on the other side.
Did
But
I
it's
get
not
any
a-
samples? Do I write anything down?
Fine, I'm sure
Yeah,
they
you still
remember.
have all the samples that were in that you put in the
I remember
containment
the
unit in
formula
here.
so
Oh, what
far.
I mean is
Good for
those,
you.
like, if they were from the circle, I put them back there. I'm
Uh-huh.
saying I'm looking around if I can get actual samples from out of the circle.
Oh yeah,
when
yeah.
they were doing this thing.
Yeah, like is it out on the plane.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, there's
because I need 10. We need 10
there's about 4
For each.
distinct types of plants.
plants.
And probably some poop,
Jukir
right?
is going to use the
Yeah, you
bathroom
do
on the
find
ship.
you find
yeah.
2 distinct species of poop.
2 times poop. What about like fur?
Nothing like that, but you can get some pictures of like the hoof prints, which would be helpful.
Pictures.
And it's like you get like a 3D picture of them, so you get like the depth and that sort of thing, which gives you some idea about. And you can get like a soil sample as well. And so if you compare like the soil sample with like the 3D picture of the hoof print, you can get some idea of like how big the animal actually is, or at least how much it weighs.
Okay, okay.
So that's some useful information there.
I'm just saying that for myself, I'm not gonna show it. I want to keep one picture of my tiny porcupine friend, just because. It's in
Yes.
another folder somewhere else.
Okay.
Remind me. Tell me if I'm wrong. So
Okay.
we got catapulted on the west side,
Yeah.
which is where Ancana and Dr. London went.
Yes.
So
it
we're
is.
closer to them now, most likely.
The camp of Solomon is on the southwest.
It's well now that you have actual like coordinates for
Right.
where the circle is, it's more on the southeast side.
Even better.
Yeah, it's on the nearer side. Because I mean, like the
a
thing is, the circle extends
Yeah,
like way into like the mountains.
So
and
So
that
it's
sort of thing,
actually
covering all that
close. It's
area.
not that far. We're
so
not like
it
that
will be
far.
like a
We
max
basically
15
took.
minutes.
Yeah, we took-
15 kilometers because
we-
it's a fourth.
We took
of
a walk
this.
like this through it.
Yeah,
kind of.
so it's like a fourth of this down thing, which is 44 kilometers. So it would be like 15 kilometer max, but we're in the right area because that's where I'm kind of go to went.
Well, can you find any rover
Traces.
rover oh my god,
What time
Rover
is it?
tracks?
rover tracks?
Let's see here. It's starting to get into late afternoon.
Shit.
It's like 3 p.m.
Oh, okay. How
This is our third day?
Yes.
So they're gonna come on the 4th in the morning.
Well, that was the original plan, but remember you reestablished,
The
you rebuilt the communications thing for like the satellite relay for Solomon and McTavish,
Yeah.
and you don't know what they've said.
Oh, maybe they said not to come. Oh, we don't know. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you don't know. So, they might be coming much sooner. They might be coming on the 5th day mark.
They might be
they
there.
might not be coming at all until like you check back in.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I'd
You
say-
honestly don't
oh,
know.
Wait.
You don't know what
So
Solomon
we
has
don't
told
really
the Odyssey
have
at this
like
point.
a meeting point at this time.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna start looking for tracks of rover, and I'm just gonna roll, and then I'm gonna go to the toilet. This is
This
also
is 6.
examination.
Yeah.
12.
Yeah, no, you can see him.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right.
You saw them earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you knew where they were.
Okay. So
That's
while you
where
were
we go
gone,
to Ancana.
we established that we're actually on the side of the circle much closest to where Ancana and Wen went.
So we're gonna go there.
And she just found the rover tracks. So we're
We
gonna
need if we need to
that
go
way.
fast, you got 2 fast rabbits. But if we don't, we can just go all together.
Okay, that's a great idea.
Which one?
Those were 2 ideas.
Well, that idea
As an idea.
I see.
Yes, that
Okay.
encompassing.
Okay.
By the way, I wanted to tell you this morning the reason I was so confused is because you used the word there, and it could have referred to one of 3 locations, and you did it twice. You were like,
Well,
"Oh,
For me,
I'll just meet you there."
I was just
And I was
waiting
like,
'cause
"Where
I was
is
like, it doesn't have
there?"
a third person. person.
Yeah.
behind me,
Yeah,
so I
well,
was just like,
I was
I was
walking at that
gonna
point.
wait.
That's why I spoke. No, I knew that was what happened. But for me,
Ah.
you said the Starbucks here or the Starbucks there. So I was like, let's go there anyway.
Well, because, like,
You
Where
said
was it?
here
I
and
thought
there.
you were saying there, like Zakari.
No, 'cause you
It's
said-
like, oh, I'm just gonna go
Yeah.
there
Like,
by myself, and I was like, just
I
come
said,
and
could
come
you
with
come
us.
to our Starbucks today because Aria went to the hospital? Yeah, I know, I read. Oh, I'm fine with going
Studio
there.
lights.
So there could have been
Sorry.
literally, because you said twice, I'm fine with going there, and there could have meant our Starbucks. Like, oh, I'm fine with going there.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm
The
fine with
original
going there
Starbucks?
could have meant the original Starbucks, or it could
No,
have meant
I
Zakari's
think it
house.
was-
I knew it was what caused the problem, but for me, like, I was walking, so I didn't want to like
Got it.
stop and type.
Yeah,
it would have
yeah,
been
yeah.
No,
longer.
no, I got
So
it.
I was like, oh, for me.
I
at
didn't want to
first,
be
that's
rude,
what
but
happened.
I was just like,
No, I
I
knew.
literally
I
don't
knew.
know what you mean because there could mean
I was
any
like,
of these
you should,
locations.
you should know better. You should know better with me. So,
That's fine.
Okay, so we
So
are
we are-
following the tracks.
Following.
as long
Here we go.
as the commanders don't ask me about Evelyn, I'm fine.
Yes, okay. Don't mention Evelyn. So yeah, you guys start. So you guys
Oh
start.
yeah, as we're walking, I suddenly go, oh, so we met all those things in the forest, but we never finished following Dr. Sharp's tracks. We're just gonna leave her there.
Well, the tracks,
Let's
the
not.
tracks ended in the middle of the circle, and Dr. Sharp was not available to be there.
That
She was
I
in the
think-
bath.
seems vague.
Maybe
Yeah.
I look at you and I'm like, well, maybe the tracks are also a hallucination. We maybe.
That's
Thought
kind of
that
what I
might
was
be the
thinking
case.
as well, to be honest.
Oh.
I don't even know if those tracks were real that led into the,
So how can we all see them?
I don't know. Well, they're
I
not-
didn't see
You
them.
we
You're the
didn't
only
see.
one.
You're the only one who saw them. That's
Yeah.
why I looked at you.
Yeah.
She was the only one that could find them, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The tracks.
She was the only one that was.
Qualified.
Looking.
Oh, okay.
Qualified for
Oh.
looking.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see the tracks. I
Technically,
was
none
just
of the rest
following
of
you.
us saw the tracks saga, so it could have been another hallucination that led us into
Well-
the circle.
Solomon told us she was going to the west.
Dr.
Well,
Sharp.
whatever happened to Dr. Sharp, she's not with us, so.
She was getting on in years,
Yeah, yeah.
and there were so many strange things in that circle.
honestly, I think if she
I'm
is
looking
there,
at my samples.
it's better to, if she is there, it's better to just let it be. Because as you said, she was an older lady, and, yeah. We didn't see any evidence that anything bad happened to her. In fact, quite the opposite, but, yeah. It was,
He's getting a strange feeling that she probably shouldn't ask any more questions about it, and since she's done the same thing to them, she's just like, okay.
I got samples.
Junior likes Mickey a little better now. She's like, we sort of have this understanding.
Yes.
So commander, I got 4 plant samples, 1 soil sample, 1 hoof print picture,
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah.
then
Good
poop.
job. Yes. Poop. Good poop.
Way to go,
Let's go.
Lily.
I want to have tired
Yeah.
dog tag only.
Okay, so yeah, as you guys are like locating the rover tracks that Saga had found earlier, and you start following them,
Everyone sees these tracks, right?
you hear high above you
Uh-oh.
this sort of this sort of screeching sound.
Oh, dear.
Great.
I
This
lower
very
my
high
ears and look up.
pitched, this very high pitched like whine sound of an engine.
Mm-hmm.
Are they already coming?
And yeah, looking up. Go ahead and make perception rolls.
Perception.
Ooh,
straight-
natural 20!
18 plus
Perception.
Straight perception.
24.
25! I got
23.
I got 25.
24.
16
Yeah.
total.
Yep.
Okay.
Do I get- do I
Just
get-
tell it's not
do I
my
get-
day.
Do I get double because I rolled nat 20?
I got yellow.
You're
Uh,
so eating those beaches.
Yeah. Let's see here. I don't know. Like maybe somehow like this partially corrects your vision.
Yeah, there we go. I look up and it's like, wow, what just happened?
But yeah, you see very, very clearly that, and they all, all of you see it, but yeah, Jakir sees very,
I
very
see it.
clearly
Sees it more.
She
that
can count the number of like
there,
bolts.
yeah, that there is a ship that's coming down.
She can see the people in the ship.
Our ship.
It's,
Through the
I mean,
ship.
it's one that you recognize from the Odyssey. Yeah,
Alright.
it's an Atlantic Empire ship.
Is it to
It's-
fight or it's just
Hold
a
on, let
landing
him
one?
explain first.
It is a military aircraft, but it is it's essentially a military grade dropship.
Okay.
But the thing is, the military grade ones can actually like fly.
Oh.
It's basically this red triangle,
Whoa.
with
Crazy.
but it's a personnel carrier.
Okay.
And it's coming down, roughly towards where you guys are, sort of generally, like
Ish.
towards the circle-ish. And as it's coming down, you see this mass of dark clouds low dark clouds come racing from the mountains.
From where the circle is.
Yeah, like inside
Is
the
the
circle.
ship around this where the circle is?
It's getting close to it.
Mm.
And you see this massive dark clouds.
Everyone else is seeing this, right?
Can we
You all see it. Yeah.
signal this
Can't
ship?
go in.
Wait, are we still near the ranger?
No.
Yeah, you get. Well, I mean,
we walked a bit.
You
Jakir
walked
starts
a bit,
doing
yeah.
this.
I mean, but it's been like,
Don't
it's like
stop
10 minutes walk.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
So the clouds
And
are racing
our
over.
communicators are not strong enough to like page the ship, right?
If we,
No, not
ooh,
really.
if we run back to Ranger 1, would it be able to...
well, that's what I was thinking,
yeah.
but it's like 10
Let's
minutes. No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a 10-minute
Okay,
walk.
never mind. They're doomed.
Well,
What
can
happens?
I run
How
and
fast
do
can
it?
she get there?
You
I
could,
have
yeah.
my boots.
Let
that
it go!
double.
Oh
One
yeah,
of
she has her
them!
boots too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Letty
she
with
could-
the jump boots. That could work.
She might as well
So,
try.
Well,
Go,
I'll
go, go,
try.
go, go.
I'll run and use my boots to go faster, and then input the location and say avoid that area.
Okay.
Avoid
just
area and this.
Okay. So as you're running,
The clouds are coming.
the clouds come in,
Oh my god.
and they move, and then looking at it, it's like they hit the side of a dome.
Mm.
And they start spreading out across it into like this, almost like a film.
Everything's black
Like-
covering the whole sphere.
Not over the whole sphere. It's just like this patch where like you have the clouds,
That are just,
positioned
like-
again, and it look like you can see like a smooth line to it, and then like from that line it starts. You see like lightning bolts start coming down around like the edge
Whoa. Yeah.
of the circle.
So Wakanda, basically.
It's Wakanda.
Wakanda forever!
Sure, and
Oh my gosh, I have a
yeah,
great
you
story about that.
Yeah, you see,
Anyway.
yeah. So like you can see these lightning bolts start hitting the ground at what would be like
from
the clouds. Yeah, from the clouds. They just start shooting lightning bolts.
Well, even if she doesn't get there in time, I feel like they can't be dumb enough to go right into that.
Yeah,
They're
that's
humans.
Fair point. Fair point.
I'm not there, but
That's true. They are human.
She's like,
I'm gonna start walking in a different direction. I'm not telling them where the tracks are.
I mean, humans are great.
No, I mean, like they can see the rover tracks.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they're
those are
pretty
not-
obvious.
Yeah, those are not the real ones.
So
Take those.
what happens? Does the lady get there? Did she warn them? Or did they die?
What's
So
happening?
yeah, so the you see like the red the personnel carrier kind of like it starts like it's still well out from where the clouds are, and and you see it sort of bank towards the west.
Fuck this shit.
We're towards us, kind of.
No, you're towards the east.
Oh.
Yeah, it's banking away from you. And yeah, so it takes Aleti a couple of minutes to get to the ship.
she did.
And-
Getting to the ship was not what took time. It was me finding the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. So like she has to like kind of climb up into the thing and like figure out all of the like
Oh,
upside down
Upside down
like
communications.
text
I just said and put the
communications thing, like-
seatbelt on.
Okay, so now you're hanging upside down, trying to work this very unfamiliar machinery. What check would you need to make for that?
Hey.
I'm gonna call this. Yeah, drive pilot. That'll work.
Can somebody help me so like
No,
I
you're
can
by
get
yourself.
to
You're by
no,
yourself.
I
You're
So
by
make a
yourself.
dexterity throw. You got a +6.
Yeah, 12.
12. All right. Yeah. No, that's good enough. I mean, everything's labeled.
Yeah.
So yeah, you managed
And I just
to.
copy and paste the numbers.
You managed to broadcast. You don't have the information to do
Of the
a
ship,
typecast,
yeah.
so you just do a broadcast.
I write the serial number and avoid area. That's that.
Okay. Yeah, or like all the
The
numbers from your
coordinates.
tablet and put
Yep,
that in.
yep.
Okay, and avoid area.
Can I take a picture of the tablet and say, like write avoid area and take a picture, send the picture in case like the things would get like.
Yeah, you can do that in a
Because the
second
picture
broadcast.
could
Yeah.
yeah. So
that's a
I
good
do
idea.
those two.
Okay, do both of those things. All right. Okay, you have done those things. You guys can't
So
see
I
the
hope-
personnel carrier anymore.
Whoa. Because it went to the other side.
Yeah, because it's just dropped out of view.
Oh boy, I hope they're
So
Wait.
anyway, when I'm done with,
But not inside the circle.
we don't know.
We
It could be
don't know.
behind or in.
It appears to be on the far side of the clouds.
Okay.
It didn't go into the. It doesn't. It doesn't
Wait,
look like
so
it went into the
it's
clouds.
like
We were
this and it was
standing
like this.
here, and the circle is here, and the ship was over here.
No, the ship was
No.
south.
Yeah, it was here.
Oh, so we were standing here, and the clouds were like here.
Yeah,
and
the
then
clouds are
ship
kind of
was,
to
like,
the
here.
south, or to like the southwest of you.
So it kind of the ship's over here somewhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
We don't
But
know
we're
if it's
still
in
over
or
here.
out, but we can't see.
it's
Because
it's
the clouds.
it's roughly in the area of Solomon's camp.
Right, that's what I was about to say.
Oh, okay. So it was a bit farther away from us then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, when I'm done with this, I just run back.
Okay.
Alright, let's keep following the tracks, I think. I mean, if the personnel ship is near Solomon's camp, they're gonna find each other.
And the clouds have dissipated at this point.
Well, that's not. I would say that's weird, but it's not.
It's
considering
not that
what
weird.
we have seen. It's not weird at all.
Let's say that's a good sign.
It's very
Shit,
normal.
can our communicators work?
Yes, what do you want?
Can it?
You can talk to each other.
Alright. Yes, they're working. What do you need?
What do you need?
Larry, broadcast this message. Group Ranger 2 is going towards east, towards Ancana and Dr. Wen. Do not leave without us. Repeat, we're not inside the circle. I didn't repeat the same thing, but whatever.
Repeat something totally
Can you
different.
give me a number to copy? 'Cause
Okay, so to get
So I go
some
by
Solomon
information.
will understand. We are going
Just
it,
towards
it just
I
can't be
understand.
tons of words. It's just I can't use tons of words. They might not get through.
Ranger 2 going towards Ancana and Wen. I'm sure you can transmit that.
What if the
Don't
words
leave
get mixed
without
up?
us.
Not inside the circle.
Okay,
Don't.
I go.
Anyway,
Solomon
And I
will
send
understand.
Okay, so now we're
Okay.
continuing to follow the tracks.
Well, as soon as the lady gets back, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get back.
She'll catch up.
And now I mean, if the tracks are obvious, it's fine that they
She
leave
can-
and
yeah,
I
she
just
can still
follow.
see us.
Yeah.
As
Okay.
long-
She's a bunny anyway.
Alright.
Okay.
I'm a bunny bunny.
Okay. So let's see here. I gotta pull up a completely different thing now.
Don't leave
Because
without
they
us.
think
Don't
they think
leave
we're
without
still
us.
inside the
And
circle.
it's not worth
because
it,
we
like-
went toward Dr. Strout, but now we're going to another direction.
Yeah.
Without first going first through the camp.
Yeah, they
that's
might be
true.
like, it's not safe to go in the
They don't
circle,
know
so
where we
like,
are.
They might leave without us.
Yeah. And I have that. I do have that. Good. All right. So yes. So you start. You're following the tracks. You walk for about another hour. And it's like you're starting to get that late afternoon,
Right.
like
hunger.
We all
Sun.
said something completely different. Well, I said nothing, but
So
anyway.
yeah. You guys always complete my sandwiches. All right.
I work at the burger.
So yes, so you're following the rover tracks for about an hour before you actually catch sight of it.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yay! Got it.
And it's just standing like just out on the plain. Behind it, or on the far side of it, a ways, you can see a fairly large, basically like a small forest.
Oh.
There's basically like a small forest out there.
Nice.
The wait, hold on. Is it crap? I forgot the definition of the word deciduous.
Oh, deciduous is like.
That's the ones that change, right? Or those ones that are evergreen.
no.
Deciduous is evergreen.
Deciduous
I
is
think.
evergreen.
That's like,
Okay.
those are like forest trees, right?
So yeah, they're non-deciduous trees.
So they're not
I was
really
looking for
nice.
the word. The only word I could think of was deciduous, and I'm like, wait a
Dying
second.
trees.
No, they're just. I
They
mean,
just-
like it's
they-
late summer, so they're actually quite. They're
And
in, like,
wait, no, deciduous is shedding leaves annually.
Okay, yes.
They're deciduous. You're right.
They are
They are
deciduous. I found the
deciduous.
right word, and then I wasn't.
Then
I
you-
wasn't confident
you
in
second
my.
guessed yourself.
So it's fall.
It's not fall. It's
fallish.
late summer.
Late summer, so they're
So
not
the leaves
as.
are green.
What's
So yeah, like they're
Okay.
blooming, but they're Very
Sturdy
obviously like a
tree.
deciduous kind of tree.
Okay.
Unlike the evergreens that you saw a lot back on the mountain.
Oh, evergreen is
Oh.
literally the antonym of deciduous. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I kind of
Yeah,
thought like
evergreen. Oh.
that's what I was thinking. Like, wait, is deciduous the same as evergreen? Or are they
Oh, that
opposite?
makes sense. Green
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Evergreen.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Words.
they evergreen.
English. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, so as you're getting closer to the rover, you can actually see some
Two people
like
looking
the because the rovers are like white.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's white color, and there are these black. At first, they just look like blobs, kind of like that's like on like the side and the top of the thing. And as you get closer, you see there's like movement, and they appear to be some kind of creature.
Oh boy.
you would say.
Wait.
That are next to the rover.
On the rover?
They're on the rover.
Oh no, they're the ones that attacked us.
Go
Okay.
ahead, make a perception check.
Give me 1 second. Where are we?
So you are walking in a eastward direction
Mhm.
away from the circle.
I got a 23.
But we were walking toward Wen's place,
Yes, and this
And-
is the direction the tracks went.
and what we see is
The
The
rover.
The
rover.
white rover,
With
just
two
which
the
black
has these
things on
three
it.
With
Three
black
things on it. It's the thing that
shapes on
attacked
it.
us. I
Okay.
rolled a 23.
You rolled a 23. Anybody else looking at this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's all look.
Oh my gosh.
You are going to be
20.
possessed.
20.
Yeah, just a perception check.
23.
20.
Woo! You both got 23.
Okay,
What is my 11.
11. Okay.
Me, he was looking in the other direction.
So yes, yeah, you guys. So like you guys, yeah.
Me
these,
is bothered
these
by
definitely
her
appear to
vision.
be like
Bats.
living things.
Is it
They're-
those things that attacked us that were?
They also appear to be roughly 4 to 5 feet tall.
So it's just two things.
No,
Three.
Three
Oh,
things.
things.
Three of
sorry.
them.
But is it those things that do they look like those things that attacked us? You know, at
Which
at
time?
Solomon's camp when they jumped
The
on
bug
the.
thingies?
Oh no, not those. Yeah,
Okay.
those were much
Those
smaller.
were bats.
Ah, okay.
No, those are the no, she's talking
No,
about
those were the
crickets.
crickets.
Oh,
Crickets,
I'm
the
sorry.
big crickets.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
But we're-
Those were smaller.
Do they look like?
But
finger
we're
bears?
out
They
of
also
the
do not look like finger bears.
Not a
Damn
finger
it.
bear.
We're out of the circle,
Yeah.
That doesn't mean
so
that
it's not gonna be the shadow that
let's
attacks
pause.
us.
still animals.
Because I think the closer we get, the things that
The crickets were outside of
they're
the circle
going,
too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's right. They're
Oh.
going to attack us. So I think we should proceed with caution. I am
Not
ready.
yet.
with my weapon.
Wait. I'm gonna.
I got my bow and arrow.
Because we're not close. We're not.
Yeah,
How-
you're
how-
still.
How far are we?
We should walk slowly, I think.
I would say
Do you
maybe
have
like.
Does anybody
I'm
have?
gonna say about 2 kilometers.
Does anybody have the thing?
In
the-
feet.
Oh, I do. I have it. The tactical.
Bloody
skill.
hell.
2 kilometers.
What are we talking about?
What's 2 kilometers in feet? Anybody know that one off the top
I
of their head?
know 2 kilometers.
No,
And
but I mean.
feet.
We're gonna have
Okay.
I'm training myself to think in the metric system.
Well, you
Yeah.
put all of the range of our weapons in feet, so.
That's true. Yeah, that's
Because D&D everything.
because
is
D&D
in
everything's in feet. Okay, let me switch it to miles.
I like
Yeah,
kilometers.
I think it's like 1 mile. 2
1
kilometers
mile.
in feet.
It's 1
is
mile.
It's a little over a mile.
Yeah,
It's just over a mile.
61 feet. So
Just
it's
over a
just
mile.
over a mile away.
Okay, all I
This
want to
is
know.
1.2 miles.
Oh, it's a lot of feet.
Yeah, it's about 1.2.
Okay, we can see that well? That
Yeah,
far away?
I mean it's a plane.
Oh,
There's
okay.
nothing.
It's
you
it's
can
one of those
see.
places where
Anyway,
like if your
I'm
dog
going
escapes, you
to-
can see it for a week.
Yeah, okay. I'm
Because it's standing. That's
I'm readying my fog of slumber
Okay.
in the anticipation of throwing it.
And you say that
I
we're
have,
Gotcha.
saying.
I have my bow and arrow out, and I'm walking much slower.
I heard.
Okay.
I have my boner now.
That won't help
Sorry.
you. That might have helped you with the foxes,
I have
but
a jump boots and Master Surveyor's Wrath. Whatever. I am ready. I have a bow and arrow.
I need to charge my jump boots. But no, they charge it with gravity. It's fine. It's with time.
okay.
We're getting closer and
Yeah,
attacking
you're
you.
still walking.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
so
I'm
weapons
wa-
are ready.
I'm walking slower, but I'm still walking,
Ready.
and I got my
Yeah.
bow and arrow out.
I want that rover.
Okay.
Maybe I
Uh,
can do animal handling with them.
Let's see if they're animals. We're not that close yet.
Yeah,
We don't know
so-
what the heck they are.
Yeah, so you're as you're approaching, you can see that you start glimpsing as you get closer. You start glimpsing like other like flashes of color, like whites and browns and grays,
Like
kind
on,
of like
on their bodies.
under the black. Like the black sort of like like gives way to these little bits of color here and there, or other tones, really. I should
Are
say.
they like
Attacking the people.
cross dressers with like a
Is
cape
it
on?
moving? Is it moving? It's like
Yeah,
moving
they're
on the
moving like they're doing something to the rover. You can't
Okay.
quite tell what, but they're clearly doing
Do
something to the
any
rover.
of us have the binoculars or the scope or the
Goggles.
thing so we can see closer?
No one has
No.
binoculars.
Hold
Really?
On. Do I? What's technically?
Do you have binoculars?
No.
Doesn't somebody have binoculars?
I mean, but isn't that just in our like pack of stuff we have?
Oh, sorry.
It
It wouldn't
was
make
on the
sense.
list of things you could take.
I might have it. Hold on, I gotta figure out what this
No,
is.
I took binoculars.
Oh, I gotta add binoculars to my homebrew on D&D Beyond for when we make the switch. There's so many little things I have to add on there.
Lighter.
Alright, that's fine, that's fine.
All right, so yeah,
Hold on, I might-
Just-
like as Jakir is walking with like her bow sort of ready, she's like patting around trying to find her binoculars. You guys are getting
How
closer.
close
Oh,
are we?
the tactical scope is not, it's just for a weapon.
yeah. You put that on a weapon, yeah.
Okay, I thought it was like a,
I mean, you could use it that way.
well, that's what I'm gonna do then.
Okay.
Because I have that, so
You do
I'm
have
about
that.
to bust it out and look at these things. So what do
Yeah.
I do?
You see that
There's
the black, looking at like the way that the light is sort of like bouncing off the black, you can see actually some texture to it,
Okay,
and the texture looks like cloth.
okay.
Wow.
So these are not reptiles.
People
It's
covered
not
in black
scales.
cloth.
Well, I mean, they might be reptiles. Like you can't
Wearing
quite,
clothes.
What does the face look like?
You can't see a face.
Okay.
But yeah,
It's
but
cloth.
they appear to be wearing like whatever they are appear to be wearing some kind of like a cloak
Okay.
or like some kind of
They're-
like ponchos or something.
and what are they
There's three
doing?
of them.
What are they doing to the rover? Are they taking it apart? Are they like Windexing the windows?
You would guess based on their actions, like you can't quite see the details because of like angles and that sort of thing. But yeah, you would guess it looks like they're taking it apart.
Okay.
That's the impression
Can we
you
be
get.
like sneaking though? Are we sneaky?
It's all flat.
You can move. You can move
She
quietly
has
if you
a
want.
smart
I
camo.
do have.
Well, I mean, I would like to move quietly because I intend to throw the fog of slumber at them before they notice that
Well,
we're
then I'm
there.
gonna put on my
Okay.
smart camo.
She could go close and
Make a
throw
stealth
it.
check.
Maybe
She
I
could
should
put
make
her
it so.
I don't
smart.
want to.
Anybody who wants to move quietly needs to make a stealth check.
I like farted and laughed loudly while putting on
Oh
my smart.
yeah. You made a fair amount of noise there.
Yeah, great. I stepped on.
You're still about half a mile out.
Someone
Okay.
stepped on my
Not
foot,
bad.
and I was like, ah! That's what I just did. Oh, you did slightly better. Not bad.
17.
18.
What is it that we need
okay,
to do?
so you guys are all moving pretty quietly.
Okay.
What do you add? Oh, stealth. So I got
Dexterity.
a 4. Oh, you add your dexterity. Dexterity plus.
16.
Never mind, I got a 7 then.
I don't have any self.
16.
7 plus.
Oh,
Oh, well, I'm actually okay.
yeah, she's fine.
I got an 11. I have a lot of stealth, so even though I
Yeah.
rolled a 1, I
But
still
you-
ended up.
Yeah,
with
no,
a
No,
it's still a
but
critical
the-
failure.
The
Yeah.
thing is, one is like not just the number. It's
But
just
still,
it
I
adds.
do have a lot of stealth though, which I didn't realize.
Yeah.
And I'm
You should
like,
remember-
Oh, that's, that's good to know.
yeah. A lot of DMs think that like you can't critically succeed or fail on a skill check, but I'm like, nah, that's not fun.
Mhm.
It's also So yeah, but again, like you're still about half a mile out.
So it's
Okay,
not
but
that
from
bad.
here on, we can be moving quietly.
Well, she's not.
Can
Can
she
she
try
throw
again?
I'm gonna stop and gather my
Okay.
wits about
I mean,
me.
if we're still like half a mile away,
And
she
then I'm
could
gonna
try
put
to be quiet
I'm gonna
again.
put on my smart camo
And then try to be
shut
quiet.
up.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make that. Yeah, now that you've added the smart camo, go ahead and make another check.
Okay. Slightly better. Let's see.
16.
5 plus 11 plus 3 is 14. Okay, so we're okay.
14. Yeah, you're quietish.
You're
5 plus
You're
11?
only farting every 2 minutes.
Like,
No,
sorry,
wait.
I ate some old food on Ranger 1. There was a snack bag left
Yeah.
over. I just ate it while we were here. Oh, boy,
Oops.
this Jake.
Yeah.
Human food.
Right. So you guys continue on.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
She ate human
you're
food.
walking quietly, but you're still walking across a plain.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's
Like-
nowhere for us to hide. We're
Yeah.
on a plane, so
Um,
they're gonna see us.
But
Yeah,
if you
I
go
mean,
forward
you're
and you
sort of you're sort of this weird ripply looking thing because of the smart camo. It's
Yep.
like you kind of like the Predator,
Mm.
Oh, nice.
but everyone else looks just like
Themselves, yeah.
a human and 2 giant rabbits.
Maybe
Yeah.
she could throw. She
How-
could go closer and throw that thing.
That's true. I could.
Can she throw it?
I mean, if you've prepared it, yeah, she could just take it from you and throw it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, then I will prepare that for her and It actually doesn't. The range once it detonates is 20 feet,
Yeah.
but how far can she throw things?
That.
Well, she's a
I mean, she's
dragon.
pretty strong.
Yeah,
I
she's
think.
a dragon, so she's pretty strong. She has 6 strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Let's see
I
here.
only have 4.
Let me look up thrown
I'm
weapons.
the strongest. Woohoo!
She is the
I'm
strongest. She's the strongest.
And I have all your charisma combined.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Oh wow, I probably have like more dexterity than everyone. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has better perception.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
you have
suck
better
with talking with
dexterity.
people.
But her perception
Okay.
is very good.
Thrown.
She has a
I
better
perceive
perception.
things, but I can't
yeah,
talk
it's
to
not
people.
really. It's not really designed to be thrown.
But we
Yeah,
did
but
that
So-
before.
we've done it like 3 times before.
Yeah, but I mean, like you've thrown it like for. I mean, you've thrown it for fairly short distances.
Yeah.
Oh, so you mean it's not arrow then a...
Like, let's see here. Well, it actually does it have actually? Wait, does it have a range listed on the thing?
Yeah, 20.
200
The range is 20 feet, but like so
The area of
once
effect is 20 feet.
Yeah, that's what's called range.
No, range
One
is how far
act-
you can throw it.
Yeah, but the
Doesn't
other
sound-
things are like
Range
range,
is 20
touch,
feet.
right?
Yeah.
Touch. But this is 20 feet.
Okay, so the range is touch.
No,
and-
no, the range is not touch. The range is
You
20
give
feet.
examples.
Okay,
I was
so-
giving an example of other things like this.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, the area of effect isn't 20. It might also be 20 feet. But
They're
yeah.
both 20.
So you can throw it 20 feet accurately,
Okay.
60 feet
In
with,
mile.
with disadvantage on,
Okay.
on the throw basically. If you want to throw it
Oh, okay, you're right. The range is 20 feet. 20
And the
foot, and
cube
it's a
is-
and it
cube,
creates
20
a 20-foot cube
Okay.
of effect. Yeah.
So, if she can get, like 30, she can toss it like 30 feet and probably get pretty close to them.
Yeah. So I mean, like say up. She can throw it at. She can aim it up to 60 feet, but but past 20 feet, she'll have disadvantage on the throw.
So,
The same disadvantage?
yeah.
Yeah.
So just say
So
60.
she'll roll her d20 twice and take the lower number.
Okay.
Ah. Do you want to do that, or do you want to try to get 20 feet away?
I'll say-
Well, she has a smart camo. She could get close.
Yeah, I could try to sneak up and get closer because I.
I mean, at 20 feet, is that enough to like alert them?
Well, if she's alone, we
20
wait
feet,
for
yeah.
her here.
It's like,
Yeah, I mean like 20 feet is, into the living room.
Then why don't you just try to start from 60 feet?
Okay. So yeah, you're moving quietish, and yeah, like the smart camo helps quite a bit. And as you get closer, like they're actually making a bit of
lot
noise.
of noise. Okay.
Not a lot of noise, but
But,
like there
like,
is
they're
some
ripping
noise.
apart,
They're
like-
ripping apart a mechanical.
They're not like quietly listening to what's going on around.
They're actually just listening to classical music on the Rover's radio.
Like, yeah, they're just like chilling. They're smoking blunts in the Rover. Like, listening to
Don't know what they
Nice.
I'm not sure where that came from, but all right.
They're Death Eaters.
No.
Okay, so yeah, so you get roughly 60 feet from them, and yeah, go ahead and make the throw with disadvantage.
oh,
The
good,
lowest.
good, good.
That's
13.
good.
Oh, do I add my strength?
Dexterity, right?
Dexterity.
Yeah, this would be a dexterity.
13
Okay,
plus
so
6
19.
plus...
Thrown is
The
dexterity.
same. Strength and
It hurt.
dexterity.
They're the
Yeah,
same.
Dexterity is the same.
19.
19. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you managed to land. You managed to land the canister
So
or
badass.
the thing that, and it kind of unlocks like right on top of the rover.
Yeah.
It lands like right
It's
on top of the rover, and you need to roll for. There's something
The
for
damage.
the.
Oh,
Yeah.
they have
Well,
to
the
roll.
effect, yeah.
They have
Yeah.
to roll if they know.
They have to roll a Constitution saving roll DC 20.
DC 20.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're getting. Okay.
Enrica's having some intestinal issues.
Okay. Yeah. They all kind of collapse.
Alright. Run! That was
She
fast!
yells.
The duration is 1 minute, guys.
Let's,
go,
let's
go,
run.
Go, 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 go. Okay, so can we like peek into the rover on the way by and make sure there's no people inside there? Like they didn't just eat someone or something. Did they?
Wait. We're just leaving
no,
them?
No.
What? We're not running. Just
We're
not
going
running
to
past
them.
We're going to them.
Oh, okay.
We need to
never
like
mind. JK.
tie them up or kill them or something.
Yes, stab them or something.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
What are they?
You can definitely get up. You can definitely get up close.
Okay, yeah. What's inside the rover? What do I see?
Inside the rover, you don't see any people. You see again like some crates.
Okay.
But-
Normal stuff. But
They're
they
just
are
trying
they're
to
clearly
take the
destroying-
pieces.
They seem to be like you notice that there are a couple of pieces that have been
Scavengers.
taken
Wait,
off.
but
There's a
what
couple
are
of
they?
gaps.
Yeah, what are they?
Yeah, now that I'm there.
Are you looking at them?
Okay, so yeah, you can like roll one over and look at it. So yeah, so there's one that's kind of
It's
on the ground
beautiful.
because there are like two on the sides, one on the top, and so the two on the sides sort of fell off.
Yes, as soon as they collapse, I'm like, get over here! Just
Yeah.
in case
Yeah,
that
yeah.
wasn't
We will
said.
walk.
Yeah, where we were running.
Yeah.
You're running, yeah. So yeah, you guys are getting closer. Okay, so yeah,
Flip
when
it
you
over.
so you roll the thing over, and like you can see immediately that it is wearing some kind of like this very
Beautiful.
dark cloak
Okay.
sort of thing.
Mhm.
You roll it over, and there's a hood to it, and when you roll it over, you see a face, and around like there's a flesh part in the middle, and around the edges you can see these like short bits of feather, like down
More
and it's
bird
turning into
people.
like full feathers.
But
It
but
has
it looks like a human face?
ish.
Kinda.
Like
Like
so.
it has skin, but it's not necessarily human.
Yeah, it
human
has
face.
skin and like so here. The eyes are closed and there are like bits of down and like small feathers where you would expect to find
Like
eyebrows.
eyebrows and eyelashes, that sort of thing. The nose is much flatter than a human nose would be, and it has sort of extended to a point
Okay.
over this fairly narrow looking mouth.
Okay.
And
Bird people.
the lips, yeah, the lips are a kind of hard, or look to
Still-
be like a very hard sort of material of some kind.
Don't want to kiss them.
I'm still
Um,
traumatized from the other Lost Home bird
Right?
people.
The bird people.
It's the same ones.
Oh
It's
god!
the same ones.
I hate those.
I hate those. Yeah, so like like the mouth and like the nose have kind of like melded sort of into a kind of like
I
flat beak.
hated
Curious
those.
into it. She's a dragon. She's like, that's pretty.
But yeah, like they do have like skin and it's like they're fairly fair skinned,
Okay.
but it's a little bit of a gray color to it.
Tie them up. Tie them
There's like a grayish pink color to their skin.
Okay. I have a stun gun. I could stun
Well-
one of them.
Well,
I mean,
they're
they're
asleep.
They're
asleep.
asleep.
If you
But
stunned it, it
they're
might
They're
wake
gonna
up.
wake up. You want to tie them.
We want to tie them up.
Okay, let's tie them up.
Okay,
Do
well
we
you,
leave them in the rover? Do we tie them up on the ground?
You can
No,
bring
not
them.
in the rover.
No, not
Outside.
just
Let's tie them
outside.
off the rover.
We're gonna
Okay.
ride the rover.
Okay, so I push the one that's on the rover onto the ground.
that'll wake it up.
No, yeah, don't do
I
that.
thought, why? That was for one
It's
minute.
it's
If
just
it hits the
asleep.
if you can
What is
rouse
this?
them.
What's the point of this fog of slumber then if it doesn't like make
It
things
doesn't
stay
say
asleep?
anything
It does.
about.
It does say things, but you can rouse
Cannot
things that are
take
effective.
damage.
Like based on what though? Like where's
Well,
this
whenever you
information?
push somebody, they wake up.
It
It
should be.
doesn't
in
say
it
that
should
in
be
the book. Like that's not how fog of slumber works.
It just cannot take damage.
I think
Let's
as long
find
as
out.
they get like hurt, like a damage.
much.
Let's let him look at it and tell us instead of just trying to guess what it does.
I thought it
Mine
was
does.
Nothing
pretty.
says.
Yeah, like I mean, if
Does
it's
it
a
say they
fog
can
of
be roused?
slumber, then like why would it? Like why would that?
If they succeed, no.
For one.
I must be thinking of a different thing then.
Yeah.
I don't think they can wake up.
No, I don't think they can wake up. Like
Uh-huh.
I mean, like unless you.
It's like a one thing, a
Freaking, like-
1 minute
Okay,
thing.
It's like
does it say
1
anything about
minute
waking them up?
they're
No,
asleep.
Okay.
It doesn't say anything.
All right.
Like
They're
1
just-
minute in.
Okay.
That's
I'm,
it.
I think I'm mixing it up with the D&D spell that I based it off of,
Maybe.
which is where like if they take damage or someone takes an action to rouse them, they wake up.
Okay,
I think this is a chemically induced slumber, so
Yeah,
they'd just be
They'd
fucking
just be
out.
Yeah.
asleep. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
that makes sense.
Anyway, she can
Yeah.
get him off the rover.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like because it's only 1 minute, right? So I'm
Right,
just trying to do it
yeah.
quickly, like push the guy off the rover so that they're all together, and then we can start tying them up. Are you
Okay.
Yay. Yeah, we're there by now.
guys- I
Yes.
would assume.
Yeah,
If it's
well-
from here to the end of the
Oh,
boat.
yeah,
We
that's
run
60
really
feet,
fast.
but you,
Yeah.
you went ahead of them.
I have a 60 feet. In one action, I can get there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
tying
well-
them up then.
Wait, did you all get 60 feet or
Me,
did she
we're
did-
rabbits.
Okay.
We are rabbits.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Oh yeah, you guys can get there pretty fast.
Yeah, but I mean, we were still going.
Yeah.
She just
Yeah.
went a little bit of ahead.
Sure,
So
you got a little bit ahead. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
I wasn't sure if you guys were like standing back or if you were
No,
still
I
walking.
think
no,
we
they
were
kept moving, but I just
moving.
like I like ran, I guess. Or
Gotcha,
whatever.
okay.
Yeah,
All right, yeah. So yeah, you guys get there like as the things are starting to wake up.
yeah. Hurry!
so we're
You
tying-
like so you're like cutting your rope. 'Cause you've got like
To have
what is it,
smaller
like a 50 foot
ones.
of rope, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 50 foot of rope, so you
Wouldn't
have
you
to
just,
like
like-
be cutting it to get used for
I
the
just like
people.
wrap it all
I thought they were just
around.
like, yeah, I thought she would just like.
Kinda
just get in there.
Oh,
wind it
okay, so you're
around
like
and
drag
then-
them all together.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I pushed
She's
them
really
all up,
strong,
I wanted
so
to like push
probably-
them
Yeah,
all
yeah.
into one group and then just like
Bind them
like,
up.
like hog tie them basically, like all into one.
And then you could cut off some at the end and
Yeah,
like.
there we go.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
you can probably get to that in a minute.
hog
Yeah, all right.
style.
So yeah, they're starting to come. They're starting to come to as you're finishing the knot.
Okay.
And I have my stun gun ready.
Okay. So yeah, well they're tied, and as soon as they wake up, they start like panicking, freaking out, so like
Calm down, calm down,
squawking
calm down,
and.
Flappy,
down.
flappy, flappy.
Well, they
does
can't really
anyone-
flap because she tied them all
Well-
together in like a.
So we're
In
not
a
trying to
bundle.
hurt you. We
Are they
just,
talking?
Don't want
They're
you to...
they're squawking.
Can I try to talk
Who-
to them?
Yeah, who talks to them?
Anybody
You
speak
can
bird?
try that.
Can I try
Hey,
to
Letty,
talk
try
to
to
them?
just tell them that we're not trying to hurt them. We just don't want them to rip up our rover anymore.
So
Sorry,
bye.
birds.
We were afraid you would attack us, so I'm sorry we took this measure.
Are you using a thing?
Well, I put my thing on them,
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can get the mind bridge on one of them. Yeah.
right? Because they can't physically avoid it.
Yeah, that's
so-
true.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
sorry
trying
if
my
we
best.
startled you, but we were afraid you could attack us. We're not meaning to harm you, but we were afraid that you would, hurt us when we get back this is our rover,
And they ask back as squawking like you hear it in your head as like, who is your lord?
Whoa. What are you gonna say?
They're asking who our lord is.
It's me. She's in charge.
The person in charge of our mission.
We're kind
is
of just
here.
Yeah. We just want to get.
I like curtsy.
Okay. And this is like so here like and again like the comes back and it's translated roughly as like what flag do you fly?
Mm.
Well, don't we have like
Well,
uniforms
I'm
on?
from. We are from the Odyssey.
Yeah.
It is a
We
spaceship.
I guess we'll show the like.
We're new
What is it
here.
called? The
The
others is
badge?
The
Yeah,
insignia
of-
or whatever,
of-
like of the.
of-
The Odyssey, yeah, the
Yeah.
patch.
yeah. What is the whole? I keep wanting to
Crest?
say Federation of Planets, but that's
Oh,
not
the
right.
the Atlantic Empire.
Atlantic
Atlantic
Empire.
Empire.
Yes. So
So,
I
yeah,
assume
we're-
we have that somewhere.
We all show it at the same time.
Yeah. You guys got matching tattoos. It means you can figure out that means absolutely nothing to them. But I mean, like they don't recognize it as something that they're like against.
Okay.
Yeah,
So they don't
and are
really
they
care?
angry? Or they,
Well, I mean, they're angry. They're tied
yeah,
up.
and no, I know. I mean, if we untie them, will they attack us or will they
Ask-
leave? That's the idea.
We're not untying them.
Yeah.
Ask them what flag they fly.
Yeah, where they're from, and why do they want our rover?
No, just ask them who their lord is. Ask them the
Who
same
is
question.
your lord?
They're probably gonna
They
say-
reply with a name.
And can I remember it so I can
Yeah,
use it
Bob.
later?
It's basically a set of
Squawks.
like bird screeches.
I'm just imagining Chewbacca.
Should we
in
talk
my
about
mind.
Nama? Should we talk about Nama
It's,
to
it's
them or
something
not?
that you recognize as a name, but it's something that like
It's
you
like
would
not
have
really
a lot of trouble
translated.
pronouncing because you're a mammal.
Ask them if that thing is the ruler of this area.
I asked if the
Okay.
name is the ruler of the area.
I thought you were
so-
gonna start squawking.
And they squawk back, and what you translate is that he is the leader of the people that look for the cup.
Oh god, it really is the same birds. Cup again.
I didn't completely rewrite the mythology.
Did we
hated
have
it.
something like this?
Yeah, remember there was like in the museum there were all the paintings of the bird people and they
Yeah.
were fighting and then the cup and they were like
Spoilers.
backwards bird history spoilers.
Backwards bird history. That's so fun. Ask them if they've
Backwards
fought
bird
our
history was
people.
Yeah.
the worst class.
If
in
they
the
watch
universe.
this.
Just the worst,
Least
worst
favorite.
one. I hated that one.
Okay, I'll just go like, we are looking for 2 members of our team, and
Yes.
we were headed
Have
in
you
their
seen
direction,
this
and they're the one who
insignia?
actually drive this car usually. This is a way to move around if you don't know what it is.
The birds are insulted that you insulted their intelligence.
They don't need a. They
Just
don't
ask
need
them
it
if
if
they've
they're
seen
birds.
other things that look like us.
Yeah. ask
Well,
if
that's
they've
what I
seen
meant to
anybody.
ask.
Well, except they look like her.
It's like-
that look like that.
Me thinks she's a human.
Like you?
That look like. That look like her.
they would be of the same race
Not
as this
good
person
one,
here.
but-
Now is not the time.
And yeah, they squawk back something that translates as they haven't seen anything like her.
Oh,
Oh.
wow, okay. Well, thank you.
Interesting.
That's sad.
As soon as we can, we're gonna take our rover and
We're
Ask
not.
them if there's a settlement or a city or a
village
hub somewhere near here.
Yes.
Where
I
can
will,
we find
and,
the leader?
and I want to ask also if they hate when other people come and visit or not, because like
Yeah.
if it's just a village we could go visit and be like weird outsiders that they don't really care about, they're just racist, I would be okay with. Anyway, so
Okay,
do you have a settlement, and like are you like angry when people like travel around your territory?
So yeah, they squawk back, and it roughly translates to
Get the
outsiders
fuck
are not
out.
allowed in.
Oh boy.
So they-
Okay.
so they wouldn't
be.
This is a
So
hostile
at-
environment.
As this is happening, I
Uh-huh.
wanna start searching for tracks around the rover, because the rover is here. I assume somebody got off the rover.
Okay, so that would be a let's see here.
Because we're in their
What
area.
were you just about to say?
Yeah, I'll get. Yeah, I'm gonna say it in a minute.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Let's call this. I think this would be
Is that-
survival.
Survival.
Right.
Okay.
Finding tracks. That's other nature survival.
You have to leave super soon, right?
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm gonna wrap
No,
this
no,
up
it
in a
was
minute.
just
23.
23. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you go looking around, and yeah, you can find human footprints or
Aha.
booted footprints heading off roughly to the north. Also, as all of this is happening,
Yeah.
Did they untie themselves
you start hearing that screech again.
from up?
And
yeah.
I mean, it's coming from like the southwest, and you watch the personnel carrier make its arc back towards you. It's moving. It's
Followed
moving
by
kind
it.
of slow. It's moving like a little bit slowly. But yeah, so
It's moving towards us.
it is. It's arcing, like moving in your general direction.
So should we untie them and should we let them leave?
No.
Why?
We're not untying them.
I don't want all their people to hate us more.
Just tell them as soon as we get out of here, we'll untie them.
Yeah. As soon as we find our
I'm-
people, we'll let them go.
I'm really
Leave the
sorry.
phone.
My team wants us to wait until we meet up with our people, and then we will let you go. I'm sorry.
No harm will be done to them if no harm will be done to us.
Yeah.
They are not looking to harm you, but we don't want to be harmed either. I'm sorry.
So the tracks don't go inside; they go out.
Yeah, they go kind of northwards into that small forest that you saw.
Got it.
That edge of forest that you saw. So yeah, so
It's everywhere
like
for
yeah,
our ship.
as you wait, let's see here. Let's see here. Who would be? Yeah. So Jakir and Saga make a history check. This would be history, knowledge.
History. Esoterica? Examination?
Wait, I have a
Um,
huge amount of esoterica.
I
Ye-
don't know what.
I guess
Wouldn't that be random
make intelligence.
knowledge?
Make an intelligence check.
I have
Wait,
esoterica
when are
too.
we ever going to use esoterica? Wouldn't that be exactly that? Random knowledge?
The thing that you're trying to think of right now is not random knowledge.
I got 20.
Okay.
20. Okay.
Is it just intelligence?
Make just an intelligence
Only
roll
these
then,
two?
Yeah.
All of us?
20!
Okay. So yeah,
Woo!
you two remember that rovers generally have flares
Ah!
inside them. So yeah, not esoterica. It's
Yeah.
a thing that they would specifically remember. In
Guys, get the flare.
Yes. Well, it's more of a.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
So yeah, you fire up
Never
a
actually
flare,
used a flare
and
before.
yeah,
Well,
like the personnel
flare gun.
carrier like comes more directly towards you. It lands, like 10 feet, 10, 15 feet away. You know,
Yeah.
a nice safe distance. It sort of lands, and yeah, it's this big, like again, it's this red sort of triangle with this white part in the center where people would like sit and that sort of thing, and then like the engines behind it and all that. And then like the door opens, and out steps this figure
Donald
on like
Glover.
a ladder in this tall, like humanoid figure in like this red jumpsuit with white gloves and all that, and pulls off like the flight helmet, and she shakes this long mane of blonde hair out, and she says, "Angel 1 reporting for duty. Y'all need a lift?" And that's where we're gonna end for today. I have it written down somewhere.
What was your name?
I don't remember.
That's so great.
All right, so yes, thank you
I'm
for
so
joining
happy.
us. We're gonna be wrapping this up pretty quickly here, but yes, thank you all for joining us. Be sure to like and subscribe. Leave
Is
a-
she naked? She's not
No,
naked.
no, she's wearing a jumpsuit. I
wearing
said
a
jumpsuit.
jumpsuit.
Okay.
I said she's wearing a
Alright.
jumpsuit.
No, it's not that one.
Wait.
It's the other one. The one before
Anyway,
that.
So yes, leave
I'm
leave
really
a
confused
leave us a
now.
comment if Anya loves single dads is something from like a movie or TV show or something because
Yeah.
maybe. But anyway, or if you have an idea for a TV show like based around the concept of Anya loves single dads,
Or if you're
like
a single dad.
give us that in the description as well.
Because Anya loves you.
And you need to buy your Asgard.